is going to be. He gets away from one tackle. Lefty's still running. Cuts back up. Lefty's still on his feet. Lefty's still on his feet. He's down the sideline. He's headed for pay dirt. Touchdown, Dragons!
Oh, John Denver once said, ain't it good to be back home again. Gary Clark with you here. It's football time here at York Institute as we got football action tonight. York and Grace Christian, and this one should be a good one. Join me as always, Gary Hall. And Gary, these two teams tonight, polar opposites of each other.
Really they are, Gary. You couldn't be more different. York's built on the wing tee. They run the football. It's all about trying to be physical and run the football. And you look at Grace Christian, they're a team that's going to throw it, and they're going to throw it a lot. And they'll line up in four wides and try to spread the field and get one-on-one situations, and they win those.
And they are coming in this game 1-1. York coming in 2-1 as York with that big win last week, while Grace Christian was off last week. We'll talk about all that plus a whole lot more. Welcome to the Progressive pregame show here for York football, brought to you by the good folks at Progressive Savings Bank. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
It's football time on the mountain.
And back here at York Institute, we're getting set for some football action. York and Grace Christian Academy. We're going to have the national anthem here in just a moment as we get set for noteworthy to sing the national anthem. These two teams come in here. Gary, of course, York off that big win. Grace Christian coming off a beating at the hand of South Doyle, but South Doyle's not your normal team.
No, South Doyle will be one of the elite 5A teams in the state, Gary. They'll be in contention for a trip to Cookeville here later on in the year, and they have 2 or 3 Division I signees. I think a couple of their kids have signed with the University of Mississippi, so they're a good team. And Grace outmatched that night, obviously, but they did beat Stone in their opener, and Stone, a quality football team.
And we're getting set for our national anthem here in just a moment. Our pregame show brought to you by the good folks at Progressive Savings Bank. As we said, these two teams have never played each other before, Gary, but now York has played at Grace Christian Academy as they played in the Character Bowl back in 2016.
Yeah, they did. Went over there and played, had a good time, won that game, bowl game. So it was a good opportunity for York.
Okay, we're going to take a quick time out while they do the national anthem, and we'll be back in just a moment.
And the colors will now be presented by the York Institute JR OTC Color Guard. And tonight's national anthem will be performed by Noteworthy. And ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
And back here, York Institute with the national anthem getting done by Noteworthy. And Gary, as we talked about these two teams, they're two teams that have never met before, and they are coming into this one tonight. Both of them, both with one loss, both with York with 2 wins, and Grace Christian with 1. But they both played some good teams so far this season.
Yeah, they have. York, of course, lost their game to Oneida, and, of course, York beat Jackson County, beat Grundy County last week, and, got their 2 wins. Of course, Grace beat Stone Memorial in their opening week, so, both teams play quality opponents here. It should be a good game tonight. It's going to come down to a battle of wills, and, for York on offense, they're going to have to set the blocks, open the holes, and the backs are going to have to run and get through them. And Grace defense will be ready for that. Likewise, Grace is going to line up in 4 wides, try to spread the field, throw the football, and, York knows that, and they're going to have to try to stop it. Whichever team gets it stopped will win the game tonight.
Gary, it's going to be crucial for York to keep that time of possession. Now, they got to keep that football, keep it out of the hands of the Grace Christian squad.
Yeah, time of possession is always a big factor, and when York's going well, they're going to win time of possession, and this will be no different tonight. They have to control the ball, control the clock, have methodical drives, get 5 or 6 yards of carry, and get down the field. More importantly, get in the end zone, Gary.
And, of course, we talked about South Doyle beating Grace Christian. South Doyle sits at number 7 in Class 5A in the Associated Press. You got Livingston coming in at number 11 this week in 4A. That's a future York opponent. 3A, Alcoa's number 1. Well, maybe not after last night, but Red Bank's number 2, Upperman's number 5 as they drop a spot this week. 2A, Watertown is 6, Trousdale County 7, Oneida is number 8 in AA, and in single A, Coalfield is number 9, Clay County at number 12, and Monterey's coming in at number 13. So some good teams out. Now this, Gary, you see York's got 1, 2, 3 opponents that are in the top 10 or top 15 in their divisions.
Yeah, and there's some big games tonight. I mean, Livingston Upperman are playing tonight. That'll be a huge battle, and 2 good football teams. And, of course, Clay County slipped in there. Monterey's 3-0 for the first time in many years. And, Coalfield, who's been a past York opponent, always seems to be ranked in the state. And, of course, Oneida, we saw them. They're a good football team.
Let me see. I've got a note here somewhere. Okay, I've got this. I'll pass along before we get the game kicked off here. Hannah Hull and Bailey Robbins are 2 cheerleaders for York. They've been invited to compete in at London, in a trip to London, and they're having a fundraiser up front of Quality Private Duty, and stop by there and get buy a chance on some a big basket they're going to be giving away. So that's a great trip for those young ladies, and go by and support them if you can. As we get set to kick this one off, York and Grace Christian Academy, and a big thank you to our sponsors for tonight. We'll get those in just a moment. Right now, we're getting ready to kick it away, and the opening kick is off, and it's going to be taken by the up man at about the 29-yard line. That's number 5 over the right side. He's got some run room, gets all the way up to the 36. Good return there by Michael Heumann.
Yeah, good run back. That kickoff meant to go short, Gary. He got it with a little bit of a run, able to get about 16, 17 yards on that return, and Grace going to start at the 37-yard line, good field position.
So it'll be Cooper Riggs bringing his squad up. The junior will work from the quarterback position. Got a 2-man backfield. Kind of odd for them. They don't run a lot of running plays. We'll see what they do here now. He's going to drop back into the shotgun. Takes the snap, looking. He's going to throw out the little screen over here to the right side of number 44. Tries to get outside, makes a good move. Gets up over the 40 to about the 44 and goes ahead to about the 45-yard line before he's dropped, Gary. And that was a nifty run there by number 44.
Yeah, that's Caleb Curio, the running back by name, and took just a little swing pass and made a couple of guys miss and turned what should have been a loss into about a 9-yard gain, Gary.
So Curcio with the reception, and now it will be 2-man backfield again for Riggs. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls, and he throws that one out to number 10, who's got it. He's going to get close to the first down, but a good play out there by the Dragons, number 25, Zach Gibson, to bring him down.
Yeah, Zach done a good job bringing him down. It's short. It's going to be about 3.5 yards here. So he done a good job keeping him from getting the first down.
York was getting some pressure that time, but the officials didn't catch that hole over there on the far side. Looked like one of the Dragons was held a little bit. As Riggs now going to take the snap, hand it off up the middle goes number 4.
He didn't get it,
Yeah,
Gary. He's going to be
short. Yeah, he's
short.
going to be short from where they're marking him at. That is Curcio being knocked down short. So that's going to bring up a 4th down situation, and we'll see what Grace Christian does, Gary. And that's something unusual. They don't do a lot. Coach Derwin Wright said he broke down 50 plays, and 48 of them were passes. So they don't run the ball a lot.
They're lined up to go here, Gary, and they're kind of no huddle here, and they're ready to snap it.
Riggs back in the shotgun. York cheating up a little bit. Now he'll switch the play. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He's rolling. He's going to dump that one off. Got wide open, number 10. Down the sideline, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And that was Gage Maynard, Gary, and Gage Maynard was wide open.
Yeah, that's a couple of balls he's caught and able to make the first guy miss and got, several more yards for Thaddeus Stoneman, able to come up and get him out of bounds.
So now it's 1st and 10 for the Grace Christian squad as they come up. And Grace Christian back in the shotgun. They'll take the snap. They're rolling out. They'll drop this one off and dropped as they dumped that one off to number 6, Warwick. And Warwick, Gary just started. He looked run before he looked catch.
Yeah, that was Grant Warwick, and he had caught the ball and, didn't really make a football move yet, but was turning upfield when he dropped that one, Gary.
So now it's going to be 2nd and long. We're about 10 minutes left to go here in the first quarter in this scoreless game as Grace Christian with their first possession. And the Rams trying to move the football. They get there quick, Gary, but then they do a lot of changing at the line of scrimmage. And they'll drive back. Riggs looking. He's going to throw one out there. Got a man, makes a great throw right at the 30-yard line. Good catch there by Kirkwood.
Yeah, great catch. That was not bad coverage by Jonah Durham there, and they able to complete the pass, though, down to about the 30, right at the 30-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10.
And that time Riggs was just throwing to a spot, Gary. He threw that one and knew that his guy would be there. And now coming up, it's going to be Riggs. Riggs takes the snap. Riggs looking. He's going to throw it. Got a man wide open here on the right side, number 8. And he's going to be hit and dropped a little bit short, I believe, of the first down. As John Gear got the reception, but he got hammered, and they say it's enough for a first.
Yeah, forward progress is going to take him down to about the 19-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Grace Christian.
And the Rams are in the red zone as they will come up, dropping back his Riggs in the shotgun. They'll get the signal. Riggs gets the snap, looks, got a man out there, and now he's going to be flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run, he's going to dump it off. Good pass there, and that's going to be caught at the 10. It's going to be taken all the way in for a touchdown, Rams. Number 6, Grand Warwick, got the touchdown on that one, Gary. Once he caught it, he just, that little slant across the middle, he just came across the middle and was able to take it in.
Yeah, he was. Warwick actually, Johan Westham in coverage, and they went away from him, and he worked his way back around into the play carry. He caught the ball and was able to carry to the middle of the field into the end zone.
And it's going to be Chase McCullough to try the extra point now. McCullough comes up. He will get the snap, get the kick up. The kick is good. And we have 9:04 left to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Rams.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilize, to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
Let's quickly give you our sponsors before we have the kickoff here. It's going to be Ventures County Executive Jimmy Johnson, State Representative John Mark Wendell, Hall's Family Pharmacy and Sports and Outdoors, First Volunteer Bank, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Fentress Farmers Co-op, McDonald's, Meta-Thrift, Condition Heating and Cooling, Twin Lakes, Pizza Hut, and Southeast Drywall and Construction, our newest member of the advertisers for the game. And Gary, we saw Grace Christian do what Grace Christian does.
Yeah, Gary, they moved it right down the field, throwing the football primarily, and finally got the last 19 yards on the pass to Grant Warwick into the end zone.
And now the kickoff is going to be a deep one, as that one's high and deep and taken right at the goal line by the Dragons, and he's going to get back up, and he is going to get back up to about the 16-yard line, Gary.
Yeah, that'll be Wyatt Hawks on the return, and that was a big high kickoff, Gary, and he settled under it, and just it was slow developing, and he didn't get out, to the 16s where York will take over here.
And Gary, that was one of those situations where it was right on the goal line. Might have been better to see if it took that bounce into the end zone.
Yeah, you fair catch that too, move it out to the 25 like you do in college as well. So, that's an option also.
And so now the handoff's going to be up the middle, and here come the Dragons, and that is, I didn't see, I believe
Gibson on the carry, and not much there, Gary. He may have got he didn't get nothing.
Well, they're showing 6. He got 6 on the carry, so he got up.
Oh, actually, he did.
He
moved it out to the
21.
I'm looking at the wrong yard line. So he. I thought he got some yards.
He got a good chunk on that one, did Gibson. So Gibson with the carry. And you got Gibson on the left. You got Miller on the right. Cooper in the backfield as they'll hand it off over this time to Miller. Left side, Miller going to go ahead, straight ahead, and he's going to be close to a first down, Gary.
Yeah, it depends on the spot. It looks like they're going to mark it about a yard short. It's at the 24-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
So York with a 3rd and 1 here. They're trailing early. It's 7-0 with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Grace Christian marched it down the field, throwing it all the way. They got one run, and all the rest were passes as they make it into the end zone. And now the Dragons going to hand it out this time right up the middle, and that's, I believe, Cooper, on the carry, wasn't he, Gary?
Actually, that was actually Gibson on the carry, and Gibson got about 3 there. It's out to the 27, so it'll be first down York.
Need 1, get 3, as always a good thing when you're on offense. And now Gibson and Castellon will swap out. Castellon's been having some good games, Gary. Now, as so far this year, Miller has got about, let's see, got it here. He's averaging about 116 yards a game, so he's off to a slow start early, but we're his first possession here. As this time it's going to be handed off, and that one went nowhere, as Grace Christian was waiting on that one, Gary, and I believe that was Cooper, wasn't it?
I'm looking to see, No, it wasn't Cooper. It was actually Thomas Miller on the carry, and no gain on that one, Gary.
Miller gets dropped right the line of scrimmage, so that's going to make it 2nd and 10 now for the Dragons as Barger will come in with the play. And we saw York last week, Gary, throw the ball a whole lot more than we have seen in a long time, man. They threw the ball, had a couple of touchdown passes, and the Rams are bringing a lot of folks right up in on the line, so they're expecting to run. And it will be right up the middle goes Big Ben as he bangs away up to about the 34-yard line.
Nice run by Cooper there, about 8 yards on that one, Gary. So going to be 3rd down again and short 2 to 3 yards here. So York in another 3rd down situation.
Dragons have come back into the game now is Toman. Toman will come back in. Thaddeus checks in. York with a little bit different look this time as they got a man in motion. They're going to hand it out this time to Castellon, and Castellon's just going to put his head down and run for the first down. He gets about 3 on the carry, just enough for a first down. So the Dragons now, Gary, have got a couple of first downs, and they're moving the football the way the Dragons play football.
They are very, very methodical, very, very well executed here. And 3rd down, Castellon gets the handoff and finds the hole, gets them almost 5 yards out of that, Gary. They've marked that out near the 39-yard line. So a nice 3rd down run by Nathaniel and a first down for York.
We see Tompkins checking in the game. Evans coming in now as Evans will be the fullback behind Barger. Barger Got a man in motion. He's going to pitch it out last second. Miller threw it behind him. Miller's going to have to dive on him, Gary, and that's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, that's a huge loss. That's going to be back all the way inside, inside the 30-yard line. Going to be at the 29-yard line. So York, mental mistake there. Going to back them up about 10 yards, make it 2nd and 20.
And Barger got hit just as he released the ball, Gary. He just started to pitch the ball, and he pitched it behind Miller. And Miller had to go back and get the option, failing that time. And now the Dragons got it 2nd and a whole lot.
2nd and 20.
As it's going to be Barger. Got a man in motion. He's going to drop back. He's going to throw one out. He's got a man out here. If he comes, dropped there by Miller. Miller had to step, Gary. Miller had pay dirt, nobody ahead of him, and he dropped it.
Yeah, he had man coverage with Michael Human coming out of the backfield defending him. He got a step on him, but he really turned it on once the ball got in the air and got a couple of steps cushion. It hit him on the leg and bounced away, Gary. That was a good throw. That was on the spot. You got to catch that one. Got to bring it in.
That's the best throw we've seen from Barger this season. That one was perfect, but Miller can't hang on. And now that's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Dragons will hand it out this time over to Miller, and that's going nowhere, and that's going to be punt time for the Dragons, Gary, as Miller didn't get anything on that one.
No, maybe a yard on that one's going to make it 4th and 19, and York going to have to kick this away with 4:30 to go in the first quarter.
The Dragons trail 7-0, as you heard, Gary. He's got about 4.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter, and it's a 7-0 Grace Christian lead. Miller going back to do the punting. Gets the punt. And shanks this one over to the right, and that one's going to roll dead at about the 43-yard line. Not a very good punt at all.
No, it wouldn't. That was off the side foot, Gary, and, you were right. It shanked off the side of the foot and only about a 14-yard punt there. So Grace Christian going to start in great field position on their 2nd drive.
And they'll come out as if they need great field position. They can throw the ball very well. We'll see what Riggs does here. He'll bring his squad back out. We've got 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in this quarter number 1. And Grace Christian's Riggs going to step back, and now he'll step up. And he steps back, gets the option in. Now we'll get out quickly. A slant there and hit. Jussie caught the ball, but hanging on. Great catch there by Kirkwood. No, it's Greer. Gear, I should say. Gear was a great reception there, Gear, because he was popped right as he got the ball.
Yeah, there were 2 York defenders there. I thought the man in front might actually get a hand on the ball, but he didn't, Gary. And Gear able to make the catch, and it moves it down 1st down.
So actually it's going to be 2nd and about 1, so he got 9 on the reception. And once again, back to the air goes the Rams. That snap a little high, and quarterback going to roll out with it. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out there, overthrew Gear. And that time, Gary, the high snap just kind of threw the rhythm completely off for Riggs.
Yeah, he rolled out of the pocket pretty quick looking for a place to throw that. Tried to hit Gear again, but overthrew him, Gary. And there were double coverage out there on Gear also. So, that was a tough pass to try to complete.
And now it's going to be 3rd down and about 1 for the Rams of Grace Christian on top 7-0. Riggs taking his time, gets the snap, hands it off, and there goes the running back. He's got a 1st down and more. He's got one man to beat. He makes a great cut, gets all the way down to the 6-yard line. And Gary Curcio just actually got out and got ahead of everybody and just bolted through that time as York was looking past.
Yeah, and York got a man down. It's, Thomas Miller, he's holding his ankle, and it looks like he may have rolled an ankle there as he's making that touchdown saving tackle.
Yeah, Miller is one player that York really cannot afford to go down, Gary.
Yeah, and he that's a tough one there, and looks like he did roll up on that ankle, and he down there, they're out there looking after him, but a big run by Grace Christian. Curio, he had clear sailing, Gary. He just got through the line untouched and was 20 yards downfield before he really met any resistance.
And York was lucky, actually, he didn't break it in the end zone, Gary, because he made a couple of nice moves and got free. But at York, Thomas Miller able to get him down. But now without Miller, you got to wonder what York's going to do offensively.
Yeah, that's a big loss for York there. They're walking him off the field. He's not putting a whole lot of pressure on that ankle.
Riggs going to come up under center now as he will now drop back into the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks in, throws one to the corner. He's got a man out there and just moved the hands of Gear as Gear can't hang on to it. Good defense out there by the Dragons.
Yeah, it was. It was Thaddeus Stoneman out there and Barger out there to help. But good defense on Gear, and that pass ball's incomplete, so it'll be second and goal.
So 3:08 left to go here in quarter number one. The Dragons trail it 7-0. And Gary, right here, if I'm Grace Christian, I might try a run. This York's gearing up for the pass. That's going to leave Curcio some room to get some running. And now they're going to hand it off to him. There he goes, right up the middle. He goes straight ahead. Doesn't get in the end zone, though. He's going to be right at the goal line, maybe about at the 1 yard line. But that's something you can counter with when you're in this deep, Gary, is the fact that Curcio can run the ball.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to get in the end zone. Good job by Ben Cooper and Zach Strong to keep him out.
So now it's going to be third and goal from the 1 yard line. Snap back. They're going to look for it. Now big rush. York's got tackled. He gets away, and now a big rush by York. He's just going to chuck that one into the end zone. It's out of the end zone. And, Gary, that should have been a big loss there as number 5 for the Dragons, Isaiah Strong, had him and just couldn't hang on to him.
No, and he still took a hit. Nathaniel Castellon back there, Zach Strong, both of them kind of got him as he threw the ball, and that thing fluttered and went out the back of the end zone. York had a couple of guys there along with Gear for Grace Christian, so that was going to be a jump ball opportunity, Gary.
So now they'll go for the field goal from the left hash mark. Snap is down. The kick is up. The kick is no good. I think he hooked that one. No good.
No, clearly
no good. He missed that one to the left side. So York will take over after the missed field goal. And, Gary, the Dragons definitely dodged a bullet there.
They did, Gary. Looked like Grace Christian was on the move again, had a big run, first and goal at the 6, but York stiffened up, kept them out of the end zone, and then they missed the field goal. So York will take over at the 20-yard line.
And that wasn't, but let's see, it was about, what, a 20-yard field goal, 21?
Actually, it was probably 23 yards.
23 yards?
No, it was actually about 8. It was less than 20. It was 18 or 19.
It's just to the left side. And
yeah, he just pulled it to the left. He's kicking at an angle, from the left hash mark and just pulled it to the left upright.
So now that will give York the football at their own 20-yard line, trailing 7-0 as they dodge a bullet with 2:26 to go here in the first quarter. They'll move it this time. They're going to hand it off over to Gibson, and Gibson going to get up over the 25 to the 26. So Gibson, some hard running, Gary.
Nice run by Zach. Actually, probably bounced that out a little early, Gary. Probably should have followed his blocker and kept going through the hole and bounced it out, though, and still got a gain of about 5 on that one. So it'll be 2nd and 5 just outside the 25-yard line.
So York now with a second down and 1:55 to play in the first quarter. Will come to the line. Barger under center. Barger going to take the snap. Hand it off, and it goes straight ahead. That's going to be enough for another first down as Ben Cooper just lowers his shoulder and runs over some people, Gary.
Yeah, nice run by Ben, about 6 yards on that one, Gary. And more importantly, that's a York first down. So York drained a lot of plays here, moving the ball. Had a mental miscue, lost 10 yards, put them in a hole there that made it a situation where they had to punt. But the good job by York to control the game so far.
And now got a man in motion. It'll be Barger rolling out. Barger going to throw this time. It's going to be picked off. Picked off by number 11. It's going to be brought down to the 30-yard line. Good play there by number 11, Jared Long. And Long just stepped in front of that one, Gary, and had the interception. And now we got a flag on the field as well.
Yeah, no, that ball was poorly thrown, Gary. Didn't have any air under it, and he threw it right to Long, and Long took off running, got back to the York 30-yard line.
So it's going to be first down for the Rams after the turnover, but then an unsportsmanlike conduct, so that at least back them up.
Yeah, that's going to be 15, so it'll back them up to the 45-yard line. They'll take over at the York 45-yard line, 1st and 10.
And Gary, the throw by Barger, actually he was rolling out to his left. That's a tough throw to have to throw across yourself like that.
It is. You know, he was rolling to the left and trying to throw that ball out, and it just didn't have anything on it, Gary, and right to the defender who's staying there ready to catch it.
So one turnover so far tonight, and it belongs to the Dragons, as now up will come the Rams with $1:17 to go here in the first quarter, on top 7-0. Riggs with the two-man backfield. Riggs takes the snap, drops, big rush, and he'll get it off. It's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that pass intended for number 3, Reese Kirkwood, I believe, and double coverage there again by York. Good job by York to be in the passing lanes and knock these passes away, Gary.
I think Kirkwood may have heard a few footsteps too, Gary. He knew something was coming as he can't hang on to it, and now it's going to be Riggs back in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to get quick out over here, number 3 again, Kirkwood, and he can't hang on to that one either. Just a little too far out ahead of Kirkwood on that one, Gary, but I don't think he would have got much out of it anyway.
Yeah, kind of led him and threw it back towards the line of scrimmage, Gary, and Kirkwood ran away from the line of scrimmage, had to try to stop to catch that ball, couldn't do it, and so it's 3rd and 10. York got a favorable situation here.
So up will come the Rams with a 3rd and 10. Dropping back is Riggs. Riggs going to throw one out there. He's got Gear. Gear's going to bring down the 30. Still on his feet all the way up to the 22-yard line. And this Gear, Gary, if it's in the neighborhood, he's going to catch it. That'll call him Spider-Man, because it seems like the ball sticks to him.
Yeah, he had man coverage with Jonah Durham out there, and he's so much bigger than Jonah. He's able just to go to a place and catch the ball, Gary.
So now, as we go under a minute to go here in the first quarter, the Rams are moving the football. Riggs back in the shotgun again. Riggs the snap. Looking. He's going to throw down the sideline. Got a man out there. He didn't catch it. He was out of bounds. A little too far ahead of him that time.
Yeah, clearly he had both feet out of bounds before he ever caught the ball, Gary, and that one just off the mark a little bit, but they were going for the touchdown and actually had Grant Warwick out there open to catch the ball.
So now York will try to stop him again, as it's 2nd and 10 now for the Rams. The quarterback is back in the shotgun. Back in the shotgun goes Riggs. Riggs looking the other side now, and there's Gear. No, actually, that's number 3, and he gets away from a tackle. He's going to drive down. Did he get the end? No, just short of the goal line.
No, he didn't, and that was Reese Kirkwood catching the little flare, the swing pass out there. Made the first guy miss, Gary, and turned down the sideline, and they have it at the 3-yard line.
And now it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 3, and they'll hand it off to number 44, Curcio. He's going to bounce outside, and he's going to get into the end zone untouched. Touchdown Rams, as the Rams, Gary, moved the football again. The turnover by York gave them the short field, and they just marched down and make York pay for it.
Yeah, they did. Actually, they had Curcio again caught in the backfield, Gary, but Zach Gibson, Isaiah Strong couldn't bring him down, and he just dances into the end zone after he gets away from them.
And now back to kick will be up. It'll be good, as number 36 drives that one home. That is Chase McCullough. McCullough with the extra point, and the Rams with 14 seconds to go in the first lead it 14-0.
Summer is here. Nighttime is brought to life with the sound of crickets, lightning bugs, and the smell of fresh-cut grass. However, without an efficient air conditioning system, you're also brought to life with sleepless nighttime sweats. Don't suffer this season. Sleep easy with the top-of-the-line Carrier air conditioning unit. Financing is available with approved applications, so call today to schedule your free quote. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling today.
Conditioned heating and cooling.
Well, the Dragons, Gary, was able to hold the Rams on that one drive, and the big problem was they turned it right back over to them.
Yeah, they did. The interception returned to with the penalty, they took over at the 5-yard line. It just didn't take them long to get down the field, Gary. York doing a good job trying to cover the receivers, but they're seeming to work one guy loose all the time.
So now it'll be back to kick it away. Will be 36 McCullough. Chase McCullough will kick it away, and he's got it up high and deep, and that's going to be taken at about the 5-yard line by Durham. Durham going over the left side. Durham gets away from one, then is gang tackled right about the 20-yard line, Gary. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons from there.
That was actually Wyatt Hawks on the return, Gary.
Return.
Yeah, and he another slow developing return and only gets out to about the 20-yard line. And York, with 5.5 seconds to play in the first quarter, will run one more play.
So York now will have one more play in this quarter, and they're trailing 14-0 here in the first. So as we said, some other big games going on, not Livingston and Upperman. That's a big matchup. You've got Cannon County's at Community tonight. Let's see, White County is playing tonight. They're hosting Cookeville. And now the snap is going to be a quick out this time, and right through the hands of Castellon as the little screen pass. Gary just hit Castellon in the worst possible place in the hands.
Yeah, it did. You know, a little rollout, a little this flip of the ball, screen pass there. Castellon ran in front of 2 defenders, went right through his hands, and incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
York with a 2nd and 10 and 2.1 seconds to go in the first quarter where they trail 14-0. Barger will bring his squad up. And this time it's going to be handed off to Gibson. I believe he went nowhere on that one, maybe even lost a yard, Gary.
Yeah, actually did lose a yard, so that'll be the end of the quarter. It'll be 3rd and 11 when we come back.
York trails it 14-0 after one.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Twin Lakes is building a fiber broadband network that gives you the connection you need to experience the gig difference. You deserve to stream without buffering, stay connected, or run a business with speed and reliability. With Twin Lakes fiber broadband, you'll have access to speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber, you'll also have reliable voice solutions, robust TV services, and security and smart control systems for your home or business. Work fast, play hard with fiber from Twin Lakes. Learn more by visiting us online at www.twinlakes.net. Some restrictions apply. Speeds not available in all areas.
Start of the second quarter, and York with the football to start this second quarter. They got a 3rd and 11, so no easy task right off the bat, Gary, coming out here in the second.
No, 3rd and long yardage, something we have a hard time excelling at.
And now the double pass ends up no good as they threw that one out, and Isaiah Strong caught it, Gary, and he looked upfield, and his receiver wasn't even looking. I think he was looking for Holdren, but Holdren wasn't looking at him, and he just had to get rid of it.
Well, the pressure was coming, Gary. He had to get rid of the ball, and he threw it at Holdren so it wouldn't be intentional grounding anyhow. And, falls incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Right. So far, Riggs is 9 of 15 for 2 touchdowns, or a touchdown and that. Now the punt, good punt there by York. And that one's going to hit and take a drag and roll all the way down to the 39-yard line. So pretty good punt there by the Dragons. And was that Castellon punted that one?
It was Castellon that punted that. A real nice punt from Nathaniel. Actually moves it all the way out to the Grace 38-yard line. So that's going to be a kick of about 43 yards, Gary. That was a nice kick by Nathaniel.
It had to be his first kick of the season, I believe. That's his first punt of the season. So we'll do that. York has, so far, their leading rusher is Zach Gibson with 15 yards so far. And now Riggs will come up. Riggs throwing the ball very well, as we said. He is throwing at about 60% right now. As he'll come up in the shotgun. Looks. He's going to throw one deep. Got a man out there. Gears out there. Picked off. Great play by the Dragons as going over to make the big play on that one was Barger, and Barger gets one back, Gary.
Yeah, great play by Dalton Barger, and he was playing the safety position, Gary. Come up, read the ball, and had plenty of time to get over there. Just got in front of it, picked it off, so York will take over on the turnover.
So a great play by Barger, and now both teams have a turnover on their resume as we have 11:35 left to go here in the quarter, and York gets the football right back. They had to punt it away, but now gets the football right back. Got Strong over here to the left side. Barger under center. Barger got a man in motion. Going to give it off to Gibson, and Gary, they are
that was actually Castellon on the carry, and they're reading this now. They're shooting the gaps, Gary, and they're getting in the backfield, and that one will go for a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, they've got Gary. They're putting about. It looks like they're getting about 8 to 9 players in the box every time.
Yeah, that allows them to run blitz and blitz through the running gaps, and they're doing it very effectively at the moment, Gary.
So now York will come up. Barger under center. Got a man in motion. This time they're going to hand it off up the middle to Cooper, and Cooper goes straight ahead.
Yeah, Cooper going to get, he's only going to get about 2, Gary, so it's going to be 39 at the 30.
So York having a little trouble moving the football now as Gary looks as though the Rams have realized what the wing tee does. They figured the wing tee out at this point.
Yeah, and they've got more up there than York can block at the moment, too. So you guys going to have to come out with a couple of wrinkles.
This may be where you see Thoman come in, or they hit Thoman last time for that last game. They're going to go right up the middle, though, with Cooper, and Cooper going to bang straight ahead, gets about 2. And, Gary, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 kick for the Dragons.
Yeah, that only a gain of about 2, so 4th and 7, and I'm sure York will get into punt formation here.
So York will punt it away again, and maybe Castellon can get another good one. Dropping back is Curcio. Curcio will drop back to receive it. Castellon gets the snap, gets the kick off, and another great one. Castellon hangs that one up there at about the 34. It's going to be Curcio, and Curcio gets past the first wave and then is still on his feet all the way up into Dragon territory. We got a flag on the end of it, Gary, but York had a man down here that just absolutely whiffed on the tackle.
Yeah, and they're letting him get to the corner, Gary. They have a little speed, and he got to the corner, able to turn it up the field, actually returned the ball all the way to the 39-yard line, but there's a penalty flag at the 47. That's probably on Grace, and we'll come backwards.
I mean, it's probably blocking the back. Yep, that's the signal, blocking the back. Usually when it's thrown there, it's a block in the back.
So that should back them up to about their own 43-yard line where they'll start play from.
But you'll still take that as field position every time.
Yeah, but it gets that good punt return, which if you're York, that's what you wanted. Another great punt by Castellon, and Curcio was able to catch that ball and get to the corner and turn it upfield. And if you're York, you can't let him do that. You got to cut the sidelines off, and they had one blocker, and he got the block, and they were able to get to the sideline.
Got to force them back into the pursuit. As now it will be Riggs back in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Curcio. Curcio makes a good cut, gets up to the 45. And Gary Curcio, very elusive runner. I mean, on a lot of teams, he would probably be the featured offense.
He would, got a good first step and can hit the hole, Gary. Gain of only about 3 on that one, but we've seen him do some shifty running, break some tackles, and get some big gains.
Of course, it always helps when you're completing more passes than you're running the ball. Now the quick swing out to Curcio. He'll get around the first man, and he's going to be brought down there by the Dragons. Durham actually bringing him down. Here in York, another opportunity to get that stopped early, but missed the tackle.
Yeah, they did. Zach Gibson took a bad angle and, whiffed on the tackle, and they was able to get about 7 yards out of that, and it's 3rd and 1.
And Castellon comes. He dropped the football, and York's got it. Barger's got the fumble recovery, so Barger has got a couple of big plays here in this one, Gary, and the Dragons get it right back. Now flag at the end of it. Another flag at the end of it.
Yeah, we've got some words and some jostling going on. It was Ricky Clark for York. There's a whole host of Grace kids there, so we'll see what happens.
Big Ricky Bobby out there for the Dragons. We're going to have unsportsmanlike against the Rams, Gary. And I guess the Rams just little too mouthy on that one, I guess you could say.
Yeah, so it was a big turnover for York to get the fumble recovery, and then it was at 15-yard zone to it for unsportsmanlike conduct out of Grace, and York going to start scrimmage in Grace territory for the first time tonight.
And we've got, you've heard the old expression, Johnny on the spot. Well, tonight it's Barger on the spot. He's had an interception and then picked up a fumble now, Gary, helping his own cause.
Yeah, I mean, keeping York in the game right now, Gary. A couple of turnovers, and York going to start this from the Grace 41-yard line.
York needs some points, though. We got 8:36 to go here in the quarter, and they trail 14-0. And now the snap, they're going to take it, hand it off up the middle, and not a lot of room there, Gary, up that middle. As
that was Cooper on the carry, only about a yard, Gary.
The Rams are just bottling that up, Gary. That's some tough sledding in there.
It is, and they're sending an extra blocker too, and there's just more in there than York can block right now, and I don't know what we got, but you got to do something a little different here. You got to come up with a little different play.
So back up will come the Dragons now, 2nd and 9. And they're going to take it this time. Barger lost his footing. Barger had some room, Gary, and had Castellon out there for the pitch, but he just lost his footing and fell at the 40-yard line. So that's a tough break for the Dragons.
It is. So it's 3rd and 9, and another long yardage situation for York here, and we see it was Crownover coming in with the play here, but York 3rd and 9 from the 40. Really need to get something going right here, Gary.
And if anything, just get a little momentum their way, because we're down under 7.5 minutes in the first half, and they trail by 14. Snap going to be handed off to Gibson. Gibson's through the first line. Gibson still on his feet. Gibson's going to break down the middle of the field and brought down to the 10-yard line. What a run by the Zach attack, as Gary, he that time didn't bounce it outside, went up the middle like you said, and he got some big yardage.
More importantly, the block was there, Gary, and there wasn't nobody shooting the gap. The extra blocker, they ran away from it that time for once and had the hole, and Gibson able to get through it. A big run for Zach, and it's 1st and goal for York.
Right at the 10-yard line, so they got the longest distance you can go to get the touchdown. But they get a big run there from Zach Gibson. And here come the Dragons. It'll be Barger under center. Barger. And got a man in motion. He's going to hand it off over the right side, and that's going to be dropped there.
Gibson again on that one. Couple of yards.
You got a couple of yards on it, so that's going to make it a 2nd down and goal. We're down under the 6.5 minute mark, Gary.
Yeah, nice drive for York here, though. The big run on 3rd down. Get the 1st down and Gold and York working time off the clock here and making their defense work a little, Gary.
And this, I'm sure something Grace Christian's not used to. They've coughed up the ball twice now. They've had a interception and a fumble, both recovered by Barger. And this time they're going to hand it off up the middle and in. Did you get there?
Just short. It's
just short.
So that was Gibson on the carry, Gary, and he's inside the 1-yard line.
So he was as close as you could get, but didn't quite get there. But it is going to be 3rd down and goal from about the half-yard line. Now they say no flag. At first a flag was thrown in, and luckily no call on that one. That would have been devastating at this point.
Yeah, York bringing in a couple of little bigger bodies here. We got Zach Holden coming in, Crownover coming in. Going to try to set up the blocks here, and, you'll have Castellon and Gibson on the wings, and Cooper's the fullback.
I'm looking for Cooper right up the gut on this one. And that is the call. Did he get there? It's a touchdown, Dragons. Zach Gibson on the 1-yarder.
Nice run, nice play, nice drive by York, to just got that big third down run, then got a big play there on second down, able to get it to the goal line and then finally punch it in. And York with the touchdown, chance to cut this in half.
And Johan looking for the extra point now. Johan will attempt the extra point. 5:36, snaps a little low. Kick is up, though, and the kick is good with 5:36 to go in the first half. We got a ball game. It's 14-7, Grace Christian.
Managing your medications has never been easier. With Meta-Thrift Pharmacy's MedPack, your medications come organized by date and time, securely sealed in individual, easy open packages. So when it's time to take your next dose, you just tear the package off the roll and your pills are there. That's all there is to it. No bottles, no bother. For more information, call us at 879-8133.
Well, Gary, a good answer by the Dragons as now they've cut it in half with, let's see, we got 5:36 left to go in the quarter. So York making the most out of that turnover.
Yeah, they did. That's what you do when you get turnovers. You lead them into points, and they were helped by a 15-yard penalty, moved it down into Grace territory. A big run on third down by Gibson, and then first and goal from the 10, 3 plays to get it on in, and it was Gibson on the 1-yard run.
Johan to kick it away. Johan drills this one all the way back, taken at about the 15-yard line by Curcio. Curcio's letting him get it around the outside again. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line, Gary, but Curcio's getting that outside, and he's making hay with it.
Yeah, he's able to bounce it outside. Another nice return. Those are not high kickoffs, and he's getting plenty of time and a good head start. And that one moved all the way out to the 44-yard line where Grace will take over.
And so it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Rams as Riggs will go back in the shotgun. Riggs going to come out. We'll see what he does for the Rams to answer. York's cut it by a touchdown as he'll flick it over to Riggs, and that Riggs trying to get over to Curcio, Gary, and that was just a bad pass.
Yeah, that wasn't a good pass, and he couldn't come up with it. They had a blocker there, but York had a couple of defenders, and had maybe a chance to make a play there for York, even if it doesn't fall incomplete. So
now it's going to be 2nd and long for the Rams. Back in the shotgun goes Riggs. He gets snapped. York's getting no pressure on him. He gets it downfield and trying for gear and overthrew it, and that's the worst passes we've seen of the night for Riggs, Gary, back-to-back.
That wasn't a bad pass, Gary. His gear stopped on the route, and by the time they threw the ball, he had stopped and couldn't get started back, and Jonah Durham out there shading him done a good job on that one.
York would love to get a 3-and-out here from the Rams as back in the shotgun. And the snap now, York trying to get a big rush. Here comes the big rush. Johan Gale, he's just going to chuck that one into no man land. And good job by Johan West, Gary, as he laid the wood to Riggs. And Riggs just had to pretty much throw that one away.
Yeah, the blitz was coming. He saw it, though, and was able to get rid of the ball. Gear running down the left sideline. Nowhere near it, though, and falls incomplete. It's 4th down and 10, and Grace going to have to punt for the first time tonight.
So now it's going to be back is number 36, McCullough, back to kick it away again, and you got White Hawks at the 22-yard line. As
York out of position here a little bit, had one of the receivers that wasn't covered, so trying to get that fixed before the punt.
And now the kick's going to be over to the far side. It takes a little bit of a Rams hop, and it's going to be down right by the 19-yard line. And, Gary, they kicked it away from White Hawks that time, and he had no shot at it.
No, that kick kindly did hang up. He just didn't get there to get under it, Gary, and let it hit. Fortunately, it bounces sideways and dies at the 19-yard line where York will take over.
And I think we may have an official timeout. I'm not sure what the timeout's for.
It could be a heat. It's a heat timeout.
A heat timeout. So timeout on the field. We'll take one with them. We got 4:55 to go in the first half. 14-7, Grace Christian. York with the football.
The Gary Maxwell Insurance Office, offering area insurance, is located at 300 West Central Avenue in Jamestown. Get a free quote for your home, auto, life, or business with no obligation to buy. Call 879-1251. Shane Beatty, Katie Cooper, Tammy Robbins, and Brad Raines, agents, along with Jeff Robbins, manager, will be happy to assist you. That's Gary Maxwell Insurance, located 300 West Central Avenue, with locations in Livingston, Cookeville, and Gainsboro.
And here come the Dragons, Gary. They got a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line as they will come up, and we'll see what the Dragons can do here. They moved the ball last time.
Yeah, they did. Got a big run on 3rd down. Let's see what they do with this one, Gary.
So up will come Barger under center. Got man in motion. Now drops the football, and York's dropped all the way back to the 15-yard line. The pitch, Gary, just did not work there.
No, it didn't, and that pitch, Caden Stover, not the best pitch, and he couldn't come up with it, had to fall on it on the 13-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and about 16 here.
Heads up by the freshman to get back and get it. Caden coming in. Of course, Miller went down with that ankle injury earlier. And, Gary, now you go back to that one pass that Miller didn't hang on to. Had he been able to catch this would be a tie ball game right now, and York would be looking for the lead. As they got a man in motion now, they'll hand it off to Gibson. Right side, Gibson fights ahead. He's going to get the yardage they lost, and maybe a yard, but that's going to still bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, nice run over the right side by Gibson, following the block of Castellon, and they able to get they got the 5 yards back out of it, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
So now York got a 3rd and long here, deep in their own territory. Got to be careful here. Don't want to turn the ball over, but then again, you don't want to punt and give the ball back to the Rams here either. With the punt from here, probably they're going to get around midfield. And this time Barger going to keep himself. Barger up the middle, or make that Castellon. They hand off Castellon. Castellon's going to get the 1st down more, Gary. I think that one might have been a busted play that Castellon just made it something out of.
No, Castellon was actually the 2nd man through, Gary, and he got the handoff, and that's where it's supposed to go. But looked like he was bottled up and come out of there, Gary, and had some clear running for about 10 yards. Moved it all the way out to the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
And that, more importantly, gets York out closer to midfield with 3:12 to go in the first half. York trying to move the football and tie this thing up. Got a man in motion. They'll hand it off this time to Castellon. Castellon, he's coming out. He's over the 40 up to the 44-yard line. And he's, Gary, going to pick up a good chunk there, and it's not going to be 2nd and manageable now for the Dragons.
Yeah, it is. Tried to run that ball wide once, and Castellon had a little bit of running room and moves it out to about the 43-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 4. Good running by Nathaniel. Him and Gibson carrying the load here, Gary, doing a good job moving York down the field.
So York will now have it a 2nd and about 4 with 2.5 minutes to go here in the quarter. It'll be Barger under center. Got Cooper in the backfield. Snap, they'll give it to Big Ben, and he's going to go straight ahead up to the 45. He's going to be a little short of the first, Gary, by about a couple yards.
2 yards short, move it out to the 45-yard line. The clock moving down towards 2 minutes here, Gary, becoming a factor for York here as they have 3rd and 2.
Gary, between the guards, not a lot of room seems in there to run that up the middle.
No, it's not, and they've got 9 in the box too, Gary, and that's hard to block. We've mentioned it several times. They've sent in a lot of bodies up there.
So we've got a $1:45 left to go here in the first half. Now man in motion is going to be rolling out Barger. Barger's rolling to his right. Barger's looking for somebody. Barger's going to have to get rid of the football. Barger's going to duck his head and try to run, Gary, and he gets back up to 42. But he would have been much better off just to throw that away.
Yeah, actually Castellon worked his way all the way back over. He had lined up in the slot on the right and worked his way open over here on the left side of the field. But Barger running for his life never did see him, and I believe Grace is going to call timeout.
So Grace going to take a timeout with 1:27 to go here in the quarter. It is 14-7. Grace Christian.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
Well, Gary, the Dragons going to stall here at fourth down with the ball at the 41-yard line. You pretty much have to punt it away here.
Yeah, you got to put this thing in the air, and Grace kind of looking for the fake. They don't have anybody back, Gary, and Castellon's kicked a couple of pretty good ones now. We see number 1, Michael Fiden, dropping back.
And snap back. They're going to fake the play, and it's going to be brought down right there. That did not work, Gary. They went for the fake punt, and that's going to give the Rams the ball at the 38-yard line with 1:21 to go. And the way these guys pass, they've made more passes tonight than the cast of the Jersey Shore. You know they're going to be throwing the ball here.
Yeah, you think they are, and tried to run that fake. They had it sniffed out, Gary, and it went nowhere. And actually, I don't know if the returner moved with it, so Grace is going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And the snap, it's Riggs looking. He's going to throw one deep. Got a man out there, but Barger picked it off again. Barger playing center field, took it away, and what a play by this young man. Barger, Gary, at quarterback, he's having a tough night, but he's doing an outstanding job on defense.
Yeah, that ball was, intended for Grant Warwick, and he had one-on-one coverage and had the inside view, and, Barger doing like any safety would do, playing back there, coming over to the top, make that play, and make his second interception of the night. York backed up here. It's on the 4-yard line, so got to take care of it down here in this minute 14 to go.
Well, now, if a few years ago when Dickie Brown was the coach here, this is where he loved to throw the ball. He loved to, right after you got a turnover, he'd chuck it. Well, he'd chuck a deep one, but I don't think York you'll see that here tonight as Barger brings his squad up. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and that one's going straight ahead for a couple of yards.
Yeah,
Cooper, about the 7.
I believe that's Cooper, G'd out to about the 6-7-yard line. About 3 on that one, Gary, and the clock's going to run here, which what York really wants it to do. The other thing, York gets second half kickoff also, so, you got to take that into consideration in your calling plays here and your planning, going to try to get this to the locker room at this point.
And, Gary, we'll see what Barger does. He's got one split out wide to left and strong. Barger under center, takes the snap. Hands it off again and up the middle, and that's not going to get a whole lot of yardage there either. That's going to be bottled up and dropped.
Cooper again on the carry. Probably, I don't think he got anything on that one, Gary. So, he may have got a yard, and that'll be.
Grace Christian going to take a timeout, though. So, Grace Christian takes a timeout and stops the clock with 24 seconds. So, Gary, Grace Christian thinking they might get the ball back. So, we'll see what they do here right after this. Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward. And Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way. Well, Gary, the play of Dalton Barger has kept York in this ball game here tonight.
It has, responsible for the 3 turnovers that Grace has in this first half. More importantly, Grace, 3rd and 7 here, going to try to make York punt this ball, and York going to try to run the clock out here. got to try to get a first down in order to do that. Otherwise, Grace will call their last time out. So big third down for the Dragons.
And, of course, Curcio has had some good returns, Gary. He's just been a couple of players away from breaking one, so they'd love to give him another shot at a punt return, but we'll see what York does here. Barger brings his squad up, got a man in motion. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and going straight ahead for the first down is Zach Gibson. Gibson on the carry, as Gibson going to get it across the 16-yard line, and that's probably going to be the last play of the half, as it looks like York's content going into halftime, trailing by 7.
Yeah, they're going to late run out here, and it's going to end the first half going end.
And York's going to come to the line really quickly. They may try to get one off. We got 4 seconds left, go 2 seconds. And, nope, they're not going to get the play off. We're at halftime of this one. Halftime, it is York. Grace Christian, 14, York, 7 at the half. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
If you're from the South, people make assumptions, like that you wake up at dawn to blast country music in your pickup truck. En route to McDonald's for delicious buttermilk crispy chicken. Well, that last one's true. Embrace the Southern stereotype and wake up with new buttermilk crispy chicken McGriddles. Warm griddle cakes with the sweet taste of maple and all white meat chicken for only $3. Or get a buttermilk crispy chicken biscuit for $3. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Philip Hall, owner of Hall Family Pharmacy in Jamestown and Clark Range, invites you to the new Hall's Sports and Outdoors, now open in downtown Jamestown. Hall's Sports and Outdoors carries top quality sporting equipment and accessories from top names like Costa, Timberland, and more.
Stop in at the new Hall's Sports and Outdoors for everything you need for the woods and field. Jamestown has a new sporting goods store, Hall's Sports and Outdoors, at the corner of South Main Street and Livingston Avenue, across from the historic courthouse in Jamestown.
Fentress Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Fentress Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer, to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Fentress Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No!
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charge is not a driver tip.
At Meta3 Pharmacy, managing your medications has never been easier. We are the first pharmacy in the Upper Cumberland to offer strip packaging for your medications. Our MedPack strip packaging organizes your meds in easy-to-open pouches organized by date and time you take your meds. It's simple, convenient, and certain. Let us take the worry out of your medications today. For more information, call 879-8133, or we invite you to come by and see our strip packaging machine today.
Summer is here. Nighttime is brought to life with the sound of crickets, lightning bugs, and the smell of fresh cut grass. However, without an efficient air conditioning system, you're also brought to life with sleepless nighttime sweats. Don't suffer this season. Sleep easy with the top-of-the-line Carrier air conditioning unit. Financing is available with approved applications, so call today to schedule your free quote. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling today.
Condition Heating and Cooling.
Back here at halftime of this one, and at the half, York is trailing Grace Christian 14-7. Want to remind you once again that Hannah Hall and Bailey Robbins are having a fundraiser for their London trip. There are two of the cheerleaders that's going to compete in London, and they're having a fundraiser at Quality Private Duty, which is right before you get to the football stadium. They're going to be giving away a basket later tonight, so go out and get you a chance to win that and help those young ladies make it to London, as that's going to be a big trip for them. It's time now for the Old Ben Franklin halftime stats, brought to you by Old Ben Franklin Fords. Folks, Fords are cheaper out in the country.
Hello, everyone. This is Bruce Babb, GM of Old Ben Franklin Ford in Wartburg, Tennessee. We all know it's football time, and we would like to kick off the season with 6 reasons to purchase a vehicle from Old Ben Franklin Ford. 1. Interest rates are low. We have rates as low as 0%. 2, factory incentives on new vehicles are at an all-time high. 3, we have a great selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. 4, we say yes when others say no. 5, the highest amount is given for your trade. 6, great service after the sale. And now for the extra point, let's go for 2. Buy any new car, truck, or SUV and receive 2 years worth of free maintenance. Let us show you why our customer satisfaction is in the top 2%. Call or visit us today, 1-877-NEW-FORD. Visit us online at oldbenfranklinford.com. Folks, remember, Fords are cheaper out in the country.
And back here at the half where York trails 14-7. Time for Old Ben Franklin halftime stats. Gary, take a look at the stats from this first half.
Yeah, Gary, of course, the big one, York trails it at halftime 14-7. The first half, York, 7 first downs. York's carried the ball 30 times for only 103 yards, Gary, 0 of 4 through the air. 34 plays, 103 yards. And for Grace Christian, they ran it 6 times, 43 yards. 10 out of 22 through the air for 119 yards. 2 interceptions, and they've also lost a fumble. And, of course, York has also had an interception as well. So 3 turnovers for Grace in the first half, 1 for York. Individually for York, it's Zach Gibson, 10 carries, 70 yards. Nathaniel Castellon, 4 for 28. Ben Cooper, 8 for 24. And Thomas Miller, 3 carries, 3 yards. Barger, 0 of 3 through the air for the interception. Of course, they tried to trick play Isaiah Strong, incomplete on that pass. For Grace Christian, it was Caleb Curcio, 6 carries, 43 yards. Passing, it's Connor Riggs, 10 out of 22, 119 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Jalen Greer's caught 3 for 41. Reese Kirkwood, 2 for 34. Caleb Curcio, 2 for 15. And Grace Maynard, 2 for 10. Individually tackling for York, they're led by Dalton Barger in the first half. 4 tackles. Miller, Thoman, and Cooper all with 3 each. The big thing, Barger with the 3 turnovers, the 2 interceptions, and the fumble recovery.
And, Gary, that was after he had to give up a turnover as well. So he kind of bounced back and played very well after having that first turnover of that interception that he threw. Our halftime stats being brought to you by the good folks at Old Ben Franklin Ford. Don't go away. We'll be back for the second half coming up in just a moment.
Hello, everyone. This is Bruce Babb, GM of Old Ben Franklin Ford in Wartburg, Tennessee. We all know it's football time, and we would like to kick off the season with 6 reasons to purchase a vehicle from Old Ben Franklin Ford. 1, interest rates are low. We have rates as low as 0%. 2, factory incentives on new vehicles are at an all-time high. 3, we have a great selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. 4, we say yes when others say no. 5, the highest amount is given for your trade. 6, great service after the sale. And now for the extra point, let's go for 2. Buy any new car, truck, or SUV and receive 2 years worth of free maintenance. Let us show you why our customer satisfaction is in the top 2%. Call or visit us today, 1-877-NEW-FORD. Visit us online at oldbenfranklinford.com. Folks, remember, Fords are cheaper out in the country.
And back here where we're at halftime this one, and we understand our interview with Hannah and Bailey was interrupted by a song. We apologize for that. Hannah and Bailey, they are going to they are a UCH cheerleading All-Americans. They're going to London. Now, they're raising money. They're having fundraisers. They have at Quality Private Duty tonight. They're giving away a great big basket down there. You can go register for that. And also, they said, I think in Miss Mountaineer pageant, they were going to be giving away a makeup basket or something like that. Going to be doing that at the Miss Mountaineer pageant. And they gave you the numbers. I don't remember the numbers, but they gave you the numbers that you could get in touch with them if you want to donate money to them. We wish them girls a great trip.
I'm sure you could get that to York Institute as well, and
Yeah.
they'll take care of that.
Yeah,
So,
just drop it off by York Institute and help support those young ladies on their trip to London. But we do apologize for that. I'm not sure what happened. My computer told me one thing, and I did another, I guess. So that's because I'm computer illiterate, folks. But anyway, we got a great football game going here. Gary, York's right back in this one.
Yeah, they are. Get the second half kickoff here, and about 2 minutes away from starting the second half. And if you're York, it started. It didn't start well, and I feel good about the way you played, especially in the second quarter, Gary. And you've got the momentum going into halftime here, and got to keep running the football. And we kind of talked off the air, but. Zach Gibson's going to play a big part in this game, and if they can get positive yardage with him carrying the football, sprinkle Castellon in around the end every now and then Cooper up the middle on the fullback handoff, maybe throw a pass or two in there, but able to move the ball like they have times in the second quarter, they're going to be all right here.
They really need to get that middle unjammed, though, Gary. They are Grace Christian has been sending 9 people in the box, and for a running team, it's almost impossible to block 9 players in the box.
Yeah, and York had a couple of wrinkles tonight. I'm sure they got a couple more, and we'll see those in the second half, and maybe they'll hit on one of those. You got to feel good. Grace Christian only 1 of 6 passing in the second half, and they done a good job defensively of slowing down the passing game, Gary, and putting them in 3rd and long yardage situations.
Halftime down at Piggy County. Not a good night for the Bobcats on homecoming. They're trailing 32-6 in the second quarter. So they're getting pretty well manhandled down at home tonight by Eagleville. But here it's a good ball game. We got a 14-7 game. York getting ready to get the kickoff. It'll be McCullough to kick it away. Back deep, we have got the freshman, Caden Stover, and also I believe that's White Hawks on the far side.
It is, and a couple of up men as well. So they have kicked the ball deep, Gary, so we'll see what happens. I wouldn't expect anything different here. They've done a good job on kick coverage.
And they've done it again, as that's a deep one to Hawks, all the way back at the goal line. He drops it, picks it up back over the 10 to the 11, and Gary, that's another situation where York probably should just let it go into the end zone.
Yeah, he caught that ball at the goal line. You let that hit in the end zone, take it at the 20-yard line, and instead they're going scrimmage from the 13 here, 1st down and 10.
So York got a long way to go to tie this game up. They trail it 14-7, just underway here in quarter number 3, the second half of the game. As we get set to get underway here, it'll be Barger under center. As Gibson here on the left side, you've got on the right side, I believe that is Castellon. Now York's going to jump as big number 54 come across way too
Aaron
early.
Talon jumped on that one, Gary. A couple of people jumped, and going to back them up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15.
And when you're this far in your own territory, Gary, that's the worst thing you can have happen.
It is. Puts it at the 9-yard line. You got to get out to the 24 to get 1st down. More imperative you have positive yardage on 1st down.
And it will be York coming up here now with a 1st and 15. As handed off this time, they'll bring it over the left side, and that is Castellon running hard, spinning, and he gets about back to the original line of scrimmage.
Got about 3 on that, Gary. He moves it out to about the 12, so it'll be 2nd and 12. York, tough running in there, gave it to him, and he cut it up the middle, able to make one guy at least miss, but couldn't make the 2nd and 3rd ones miss.
So now it's going to be 2nd down. He didn't get quite back to the original line of scrimmage. He's still got about 2nd and 13 for the Dragons. And what York did need right off the bat was a penalty to start this second half. And I believe that may have been their first penalty of the night. As York in motion now, they're going to hand it off, and they're going over the right side, pounding straight ahead was Gibson, I believe, and he got about 3 or 4 on the carry, Gary.
Give him only about 2.5 on that one, Gary. So it's going to be, move it out to about the 15. It'll be 3rd down and about 9, and got to get out to about the 24-yard line.
So York now with a 3rd and 9 here. 3rd and 9 with 10:39 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. York trailing by 7. Barger got a man in motion. He's going to roll it out. Barger's rolling, throwing now back across the middle, and that's going to be batted down. The good hands by the Rams on that one, Gary. Somebody got a paw on it and blocked it.
Yeah, probably good day it was. Gibson was the intended receiver. He was covered, Gary, and that was going to be a very hard pass to complete. So be 4th down, and Castellan's going to line up in punt formation.
And he's going to be right about the goal line, Gary, so the Rams should have great field position here. The snap is back. Castellan's got it. He'll get the kick away, and he hits a line driver right at Curcio, and he'll take it at the 48. Curcio up to the 40, gets away from a couple tackles. He's headed down the sideline. He's got one man to beat, but he's going to be knocked down by Strong. Good job by Strong to knock him out of bounds. But, Gary, it's going to be 1st and 10 from York's 14-yard line.
Yeah, that was a low line drive punt, Gary, and he had all the up man for York, number 63, Zach Strong, was up there, but there was no help on either side of him, and he couldn't hold the Curcio in. It just, he allowed him, so once he got turned up the field, got a couple of blocks and moved it all the way down to the 14.
So 1st and 10 now for the Rams as they are back in the red zone on their first possession. Great start to the second half for them. As in the shotgun is Riggs. Riggs looking right side. Now Riggs going to tuck it, going to try to run. He's going to get a flag thrown on this one, and he's back across the other side of the field, and I think he's running for a lot of nothing right now, Gary, as he's going to now we got another flag over there, and that's probably going to be a block in the back. Now we got another flag. We got flags flying. It looks like a Memorial Day parade out there right now.
The first one was holding. I believe it was on number 54 for Grace Christian. That's Riley Burnett. The second one was a block in the back very clearly by Grant Warwick, and I don't know what the third one is.
I think the third one was just for good measure.
It may have been. The first two clearly, I think, against Grace Christian here, and this is going back up.
So it could be as many as maybe 2, maybe 3 fouls on Grace Christian here.
Got to look like they're signaling face masks too, and if they are, that could work against York, and those could be offsetting penalties.
So we'll see what the call is. It's going to be blocking the back, holding, personal foul, head-to-head contact. Gary,
all 3 going against Grace. So I'm not sure how they mark this off, but I'm pretty sure if they get their choice, they're taking the personal foul. They'll back them up 15 yards.
They're going to block in the back. They're going to accept. They're going to accept the hold.
Yeah, it may have been where the holding penalty was too. You know, it's 10 yards from the penalty, and it'll back it up to the 27-yard line. So. It'll be 1st and 20 from the 27 here for Grace Christian.
And York gets a big break there. 3 penalties on the Rams in that one as Grace Christian gets 3. They'll come back up now.
York doing a good job in pass coverage, getting pressure on the quarterback that time, Riggs, as well, Gary.
As Riggs will get back to take the snap now. He's back in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back. York hasn't been able to get a lot of pressure on him. Now he's going to tuck and run, and he's got some running room, Gary. He's headed, and he's going to be dropped right at the 5-yard line as one of the Dragons able to knock him down. But, Gary, he's going to be real close to a 1st down.
He is. It was actually Barger that made the tackle there.
Barger's hurt.
Yeah, him and Ben Cooper, and that makes it kind of tough, and Barger trying to get off the field here.
Barger's been hampered by a hip injury anyway, and that's where he was kind of holding his inside of his leg there, so that could be another injury there. We'll just have to wait and see. Snap, it's going to be rolling out of Riggs, and he's going to get a quick almost picked off by the Dragons strong, Gary. He had a shot at it, but just couldn't come up with it. But York got some good heat on Riggs.
Yeah, that was Castellon getting the pressure on, and, you know, they're getting hits on the quarterback, Gary. No sacks necessarily, but another big hit on the quarterback as he threw the ball. Isaiah Strong probably should have come up with that one.
So it will be now 3rd and 2 for the Rams. Must be probably around 4th down territory here. They're going to give it off to the running back. He's got it, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. And Gary, when he gets it, Curcio is just gliding through those holes and making it look really, really easy.
Yeah, I mean, they could run the ball effectively tonight, Gary, and that was proof of it. I mean, he just ran it, but, you know, made a couple of shifts between the line and ended up in the end zone for the touchdown.
So now it's going to be on to kick it at the extra point. McCullough, it's 20-7 right now. Snap is down, the kick is up. McCullough is good, and with 8:44 to go in the third, it is now 21-7. Grace Christian.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Now you're getting ready to get the kickoff, Gary, and the Dragons find themselves in a big bind now as they're down by 2 touchdowns. Again, it's 21-7.
Yeah, they do, Gary. You know, and Grace able to punch that one in. The big punt return setting that one up. More importantly, Dalton Barger over here being tended to, and we'll see. You know, York got a couple of options at quarterback. We'll see what happens when they take the field here.
McCullers going to boot it away, and McCullers drills this one down, and it's taken at about the 2-yard line by Castellon. Castellon breaks a tackle. Castellon's still on his feet, gets up to the 24-yard line. So Castellon a good return, Gary.
Yeah, you know, he caught that ball in the end zone. Should have probably downed that one. Looks like we're going to have Jonah Durham come in at quarterback here.
So now that's a big blow to York, too, Gary. You know, next week's a big region matchup with Smith County coming to town.
It is. We'll see what happens. You know, they're over here working with Barger, but Jonah Durham's at the helm right now. We'll see what they can do offensively, Gary.
So now the Dragons will come up. Jonah under center. Durham got a man in motion, hands it off to Gibson, right side. Gibson pushes forward for a couple of yards. And, Gary, that's just some tough sledding in there for York. We're trying to run that ball up inside.
Yeah, and that's a big difference in the quarterbacks and the ball handling here too, Gary. That play just doesn't develop as fast, and Gibson doesn't get turned upfield as fast. Allows the defense to collapse on him, and, you know, that play's been getting positive yardage tonight, and that time, no gain.
Holdren checks in for the Dragons, brings in the play. We've got 8 minutes and a tick left to go here in the third. And it will be up the middle. And somebody had dropped the ball, I believe, Gary. I believe it's a fumble, and they've recovered it. Grace Christian going to take it down to our touchdown.
Got a flag, 2 flags.
2 flags down, but York fumbled the football, and Grace Christian picked it up and ran it in. But we got some flags at the end of it. We'll see what the flags are. But, Gary, Grace Christian coming up with a big turnover and a score.
Yeah, I didn't see how that ball bounced out. I was trying to follow it, but they clearly picked it up and took it to the end zone for the touchdown. See what happens with the penalties here.
It was a horse collar. They call a horse collar, and you're going to be called for the personal foul. And that means the touchdown will count, and the Rams go up now 26, 27 to 6 or to 7. 27-7. I'll get that score right in a minute. Scoreboard just hard for me to see at this angle. As the kick is up and make it 28-7. York fumbles away the ball, and the Rams take it in for a touchdown with 7:43 to go in the third. It's now 28-7, Grace Christian.
The Gary Maxwell Insurance Office offering area insurance is located at 300 West Central Avenue in Jamestown. Get a free quote for your home, auto, life, or business with no obligation to buy. Call 879-1251. Shane Beatty, Katie Cooper, Tammy Robbins, and Brad Rains agents, along with Jeff Robbins, manager, will be happy to assist you. That's Gary Maxwell Insurance, located 300 West Central Avenue with locations in Livingston, Cookeville, and Gainsboro.
And Gary, you were talking during the break. They are assessing this at the the foul on the kickoff, so he'll be kicking from the 45, and McCullough can put this through the end zone here.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have some options to kick it short and try to play coverage. Not so sure I wouldn't do that at this point. They've covered kicks very well tonight. Try to kick it high and get one of those guys to field it inside the 10-yard line and have to carry that out.
And so it'll be McCullough to kick it away. McCullough kicks it away, and he booms this one, and that would be good for a field goal there. That one went between the uprights from the 45, so that means that would have been about a 55-yard kick for the field goal, and he hit it with ease.
Yeah, it was well good. That's probably a 60 to 65-yard kick, and York gonna come back out on the field here, and it's Durham. We got Durham and Strong both in the game right now at the moment.
So we'll see who comes up as quarterback in this one. It looks like it's going to be Durham under center. So Jonah comes up. York fumbled the last time, and the Rams took it in on the turnover. So the snap, they'll hand it off this time, and that is going to be wrapped up and dropped for about a 2-yard loss. And Gary, I believe, was that Gibson or Castellon on that
I believe that's Castellon on the carry, and he loses about 2 on that one, Gary. So, it'll be 2nd and 12 for York.
Gary, if I'm the Rams right now, I'm just going to pin my horns back and come at that. I'm going to bring everybody up to the line and make York throw the football.
Yeah, and I'm looking over here, and Barker's got his pads off, so it looks like it was actually probably a shoulder that injury that he has, and looks like they're putting ice on it.
And Castellon going to come back, gets about a yard of that too. He lost as he gets swung down there, and Gary, York's offense is just absolutely stymied at this point.
It is, and York got to come out with something here, make a big play, and try to get a play of some sort here to get some momentum going with Durham at quarterback, Gary.
York, of course, will go to Grace Christian next year, folks. If you've ever been to Grace Christian's field, it is absolutely gorgeous. They got that artificial turf, really nice over there. And now they're going to hand it off. Up the middle goes Gibson, and Gibson straight ahead gets some of that yardage back, Gary, but it's still going to be way short of the first down as he's going to get about 6 yards shy of the first.
Actually, he got about 8 on that, Gary, and actually got close to 10, and he moved it out. It's about 4th and 2. I figure 4th and 3. It'll be at the 27 officially, so we'll see. Looks like York's keeping the offense on the field.
And you're down to 5:54 left to go here in the third quarter, and you're down 3 scores. You're not going to get the ball a whole lot more times, so you're going to have to do something here. Durham under center. Hands it off up the middle to Cooper. Cooper breaks the tackle. Cooper still on his feet. Cooper's over midfield, still on his feet, all the way down to the 39-yard line. Good run by Big Ben.
Nice run. Finally got loose, Gary, and he broke through the line, and he knew he couldn't outrun them, so he kept absorbing the impact and pushing them away, and able to move that all the way down to the 38-yard line on 4th and 3 from the 27. So a great run by Ben Cooper. That'll go for Actually, I'll go for 39 yards.
So a big run by Cooper gives the Dragons a 1st and 10. They're at the 39 of the Rams. Snap. They'll hand it off this time to Castellon, and Castellon spins, and he's going to be dropped. Gary, probably right the line of scrimmage, it looks like. He's lucky to get back to the line.
Yeah, and that play has positive yardage, Gary. If he turns it up in the hole, it's supposed to turn up in. Instead, he tried to bounce it outside and allowed the defense to collapse on him because they have speed and they can string out the sidelines, and they strung him out that time, tackled him for no gain. Actually, a loss of 1.
Under 4:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter, 28-7, Grace Christian in this one. And now Durham, this time going to keep himself. Durham, last time, Durham took a shot. Number 32 come up and just absolutely leveled him.
That was Johnny Eller, and Durham running hard, found the little crease and took it, and nice run from him, gets it down to about the 23-yard line. So that's going to make it, it's going to be manageable here. It looks like it'll be about 3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 5.
Yeah, something like that. As up will come Durham. Got a man in motion. Going to hand off to Gibson right side. This time they were waiting for Gibson, Gary, and they rack him up right there. He's going to get maybe a yard at most.
Yeah, they're keying on Gibson now, and they're not going to let him get loose. And here we have 4th and 6 from the 33-yard line, and of course this is 4-down territory for York.
Johnny Eller making the stop, Gary. Johnny Eller's a freshman linebacker. This kid's only a freshman. He's got a great career ahead of him, no doubt.
Yeah, good play. They're just, Gibson's playing this left wing, and they've loaded up on the right side right now.
So up will come the Dragons. They've got a 4th and it looks like about 6 for the 1st down. And they'll hand off to Cooper again. Cooper going to go straight ahead, and I believe he's got enough for the 1st down, Gary. It looks like he got about 8.
He did. Nice run by Hardin Cooper. 2nd time in a row on 4th down, Gary, that they gave it to him. Running hard up the middle, moves it down to about the 24-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10.
Big Ben the Bulldozer goes through that one and gets a big run, and the Dragons got another 1st down.
This is a nice drive for York, Gary. A couple of big runs on 4th down, but giving Durham a little confidence behind center here and trying to get some rhythm with him at quarterback.
We're down to 2:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter, though, and York trailing as Gibson goes straight ahead, or not Gibson, but Cooper this time, and Ben's tripped up. Greg got a few yards, though.
Yeah, he leaned forward and probably got about 4 out of that, so it'll be actually maybe only got about 3 out of that. Move it down to the 21.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 as Durham comes in with the play. And Gary, York, if nothing else, this is good practice for Durham if Barger's injured again.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get as many snaps as you can. He's going to take over the helm here.
And now he's going to pitch it out at the last second to Gibson. And Gary, they read that one like a cheap novel. They were waiting on Durham, and then they were definitely waiting on the pitch.
That was a bad pitch, Gary. That's a ball you may not get much out of, but he had positive yardage if he turns it upfield, and you take what you get on that one because they keyed on Gibson and they were able to make that tackle for a loss.
So now it's a 3rd and 9 for the Dragons, Gary, and York really isn't built for a 3rd and 9. They're not that kind of team. They usually like to get 3 yards at a whack and get that 1st down, but this was going to be a long one for them as their 3rd and 9. As now Durham going to roll out. Durham's looking to throw. He throws across the middle, tipped, and big number 11 got a hand on it, or York had a man right there. It would have been Castellon, but big number 11, Jared Long, used those long arms and got a hand on it.
Yeah, he did. Good job by Durham to roll that out, extend the play, got the ball up, just couldn't get it over Long. Had Castellon there, actually had Thoman running in behind him that was open as well.
So now it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Dragons, and they'll go for it here as they are deep in a Ram territory. Coming up will be Durham. And now we're going to have timeout called by York. Timeout on the field with 1:08 left to go here in the third. It's 28-7, Grace Christian.
Mark your calendars. You are invited to the Twin Lakes annual meeting of members on October 5th. Join us at the Jackson County Middle School as we recap the past year and prepare for the next. Registration runs from noon to 2 p.m. and don't forget to bring your ID. There will be great door prizes and gifts. You will not want to miss this event. Visit one of our 7 local offices for more information. We hope to see you there.
So, Gary, now York with injury problems, something they haven't had to deal with the last few years, but now they've got some injury problems here tonight.
Yeah, Miller went out early with an ankle, and then we saw Barker go off, and I think on the same play, one of the offensive linemen, not exactly sure who that is over here with an ankle as well. So York got some wounded tonight, and got hopefully none of them real serious here.
And York will come back up now with a 4th and 9. This one to keep the drive alive. York needs to get down to about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, right at the 15, Gary. Maybe just inside the 15.
So Durham's got a man in motion. Durham's going to drop back. He's setting up the screen, and just a little low. If he got that one up, Gary, Gibson had it. He had some room ahead of him.
Yeah, blockers, most importantly, Gary, and that play, I think, very clearly gets a first down if it doesn't score a touchdown. Got to put that ball up in the air. Will give your back a chance to catch it.
Durham had to jump up to throw that one, and he kind of got just downward spiral on it, and now it's going to be the Rams coming up with 1:03 left to go here in the third quarter, and here they'll come again. As Riggs rolling out, Riggs going to throw the quick out. Whoa, that was a great catch. What a catch there by number 3. He threw up one hand. He Beckham that one.
Reese Kirkwood had come up with the catch, Gary, and actually ball thrown over his head. He managed to get his hand up and kind of corral it in for the catch. It'll be a gain of not gain of a whole lot, but still probably got about 4 yards on it.
That's one of those highlight catches there, as he was able to get up and get that with one hand and bring it down. He Odell Beckham that one. And now it's going to be a 2nd and about 7 for the Rams. Snap. They'll hand it off this time. Up the middle goes Curcio, and Curcio gets up to about the 30. And, Gary, when Curcio runs, he may not be the most physical runner, but, man, he's got some shifty moves.
He does. He moved it out to about the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 3.5 here, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
Final frame of this one, it is the Grace Christian Academy Rams 28, York 7 when we come back for the 4th.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
At Meta-Through Pharmacy, managing your medications has never been easier. We are the first pharmacy in the Upper Cumberland to offer strip packaging for your medications. Our MedPack strip packaging organizes your meds in easy-to-open pouches organized by date and time you take your meds. It's simple, convenient, and certain. Let us take the worry out of your medications today. For more information, call 879-8133, or we invite you to come by and see our strip packaging machine today.
Well, back here where Grace Christian's got it, Gary, and it's going to be, I think, 3rd down, is it here? Or
3rd and 3 for Grace Christian here to begin the fourth quarter. Big 3rd down for York.
York got to have a great big comeback there, trailing 28-7 as we start this final frame. Grace Christian, a private school out. They play actually in that private division. They play some very good teams in that private division, which plays this more up-tempo passing style game.
Yeah, they do. You know, a lot more sophisticated and, you know, a lot more plays, and they've shown us several tonight.
This time they're going to hand it off to number 10, who breaks the tackle. He's up over the 40 to the 43-yard line, and that's the first time we've called his name tonight. Number 10 is Gage Maynard, Gary. Maynard is a junior.
Yeah, actually caught a couple of balls in that first drive, and we haven't yelled his name since, but give it to him on the third down run, moving it out to the 41-yard line.
This time they're going to hand it off again, and they're going to whistle before that one.
That was a false start. They had movement at the snap.
And they'd handed that one off to Curcio, Gary, and now Grace Christian showing their run game.
Yeah, you know, ran it a couple of times here, and, you know, they had set up the blocking for a big run there. Of course, York had, you know, heard the whistle, stopped on the play, but, you know, trying to run it a little bit here.
See what the Rams can do here. Got a 1st and 15. Snap back. Riggs going to air one out. That's a pretty spiral, but way too much mustard on that hot dog, as Human just wasn't humanly able to get that one, Gary.
Yeah, actually had the guy had a step or two, and that was Kirkwood or Warwick, Grant Warwick on the route, and just overthrew him, Gary.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 15. And that was an impressive throw there by Riggs. Riggs put some arm into that one. Riggs got a great arm. Throws a great ball. Now he'll drop back. He's looking again. He'll throw it across the middle. That was picked off. Intercepted by York's Hawks. Hawks going to take it down the left side. Hawks going to be spun out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. So the 4th turnover of the night for the Rams, Gary, gives it right back to York.
He was just standing there, Gary. Threw it right to him, and the Hawks showing good speed up the left sideline, guide all the way to the Grace 24-yard line. A great play by White. Just, you know, those are hard. Those are hard to catch. You know, they thrown right to him, but he did a good job pulling it in and turning on the burners to get up the sideline.
So York got a little bit of life back into them, though they trail 28-7, Gary. You got 11-10. You got to score, and you got to score quick if you want to get back into this one.
Yeah, you got to move the ball. They done a good job getting it down close to the red zone. You know, they just couldn't do anything with it once they got there, Gary.
So now in motion will be Castle. They'll go up the middle with Big Ben, and he's still on his feet. Going to be finally brought down after about a 2-yard gain, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to mark that. Actually, mark that right at the, well, they're going to mark it back all the way, move it back to the 22-yard line, so it'll be only a gain of 1.
So it'll be 2nd and long now again for the Dragons as Gibson checks back in. Castellon, actually, it's going to be Stover come out. Caden will come out. Caden, the freshman, getting a lot of playing time tonight due to the injury to Miller. Not called his number a whole lot, but he's been in there quite a bit. As now it's going to be, and now that's going back on the ground as York fumbles it, but Gibson falls on it. And Gary, there's where your quarterback that's not had a lot of snaps. Was on him. He just didn't hand it off well.
You know, it may be handed off differently when Barger's in the game, Gary, but he got the snap clearly and had the ball out there. It hit Gibson on the arm and fell to the ground. So, you know, Gibson's got to pull that ball in as much as Durham's got to get out there. Looked like it was a good snap and looked like he had the ball out there. Gibson just kind of didn't. Gibson never got it.
He was able to get back on him. They lose 2 yards. Now it's going to be Durham rolling out. Durham going to try to keep it himself, takes it up, and he's going to be pushed out the 21-yard line, well short of the 1st down as he keeps it, Gary, and goes out of bounds with it. But it's going to be 4th and looks like from where they're marking it about 7 across the way.
Yeah, it'd be 4th and 8 from the 22, and you know, obviously this 4th down territory, York will be going for this.
So York with a 4th down play here. York has converted a couple of times on 4th down, but they're coming up here with a 4th and long. It'll be Durham under center. Man in motion. Durham going to drop back. Durham's got a little screen out there to Gibson. Gibson's got some blockers in him, but he's not going to get enough to get the first down. A great tackle out there by Long, as Jared Long makes a great tackle, Gary, or Gibson probably was gone on that one.
Well, the real problem with that, Gary, is that Long was out there against 3 purple shirts from York, but nobody got the block on him. So, you know, it's him against Gibson. He was able to make the tackle. If they get the block on Long, there's nobody out there to stop that from going to the end zone.
And Long just a good open field tackle on that one. And now here come the Dragons. York late getting the man in. Now they'll get the snap off, and it's going to be Curcio, and he gets maybe a couple of yards on the carry.
Actually
that's 10.
Yeah, that's actually Maynard on the carry. Got about 3 on that one. They'll move it out to about the 21-yard line.
So going to be second and long. Now, though, the clock is the biggest teammate for the Rams right now, Gary, is they just now just got to let the clock run out. Now York's going to get a timeout, I believe.
Yeah, York having trouble getting lined up, Gary.
8:32 to go in the game. It's 28-7. York takes a timeout. Back after this.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer, to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
So, Gary, now York has got to try to stop the Rams. More importantly, York now needs to get out of this one without any more injuries. I mean, this one's about out of reach at this point.
It is. You know, this one, you've had some attrition tonight. Want to get out of this healthy the rest of the way if you can. York having to play some people out of position here.
And so here comes Riggs back in the shotgun. Riggs going to hand it off this time to Curcio. Curcio breaks the tackle, stays on his feet, finally falls down to the 25. And now we got a late hit. Somebody out there, I don't know, that's Cooper or...
Yeah, that was Ben Cooper, and number 70 for Grace Christian. That was August Jordan, kindly mixed up there and has drawn a couple of flags.
So we'll see as Cooper... I don't know if they're going to get in for an unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see what they call here. Personal foul, York, and it is going to go against Cooper.
Yeah, so that'll move it 15 yards, and looks like this ball will end up being on about the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
And that was one of those plays that York did not need at this point, and that's something that killed York over at Oneida, Gary, was those big penalties.
Yeah, they had several of them, and, you know, that's a big one there. And, you know, Coach Wright talked about that after the Oneida game, you know, how he dislikes not playing disciplined football.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10, Rams at the 40-yard line. Don't forget, next week, Smith County comes to town. It's the Owls and the Dragons. Kickoff's at 7. They're going to give this to Curcio. He's going to try to bounce outside. Gets around the first man. Still on his feet, going to pick up about 11 on the carry and going to have another first down for the Rams. Gary, one thing about this game here tonight, now they're starting to run the ball more as they're trying to kill the clock. But this passing offense is just exactly what you're going to see when Livingston Academy comes here.
Yeah, and, you know, Upperman throws the ball a lot too, so another very balanced offense. And, you know, it's an opportunity to get a look at tonight. But more importantly, you know, if you're York, this is right now you got to make a stop and get the ball. You need to run as many offensive plays as you can.
And there, number 10 with the carry. Maynard gets about 3 on the carry. And, Gary, I had a chance to watch the Overton County TV's replay of the Livingston and Cookeville game, and Livingston threw the ball at least 90% of the time, pretty much like this team you're seeing tonight.
Yeah, you know, Livingston always thrown it, and they throw it more maybe this year than they have in previous years, and it's going to be a big challenge for York.
Now, quick out this time over here, number 3, and he slips and goes down at the 44-yard line. That was Kirkwood on the reception.
Yeah, you know, actually made a move on Evan Tompkins and was going to get by him, but slipped and fell, Gary, and goes down to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
So up will come the Rams. Back in the shotgun goes Riggs. Now he sets his back behind him, and he's going to hand it off this time to Curcio. Curcio cuts inside, gets up to the 40, and it looks like he's got another first down, Gary.
Yeah, he does, and where they're spotting that, it looks like they're going to give him, actually they're calling it short. It'll be 4th down.
Okay, so they're going to back it up behind the 40. It looked like he got over the 40 to me, but they back him up, and it's going to be 4th down and about a yard. As well, less than a yard, about a 4th and a half a yard for the first down. And you got to watch Curcio here, as that's the handoff is to him. He'll cut back inside, got the first down easily as he gets up to the 36. And Gary, I've not seen him stop him all night when he runs the ball, and now something that doesn't seem that they're comfortable with, but they're doing it very well, is Grace Christian is their running attack.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they ran the ball effectively all night, just didn't do it very much, Gary. And now, you know, trying to run some clock here, they're running on every down.
5.5 left to go in this one, and there goes number 10 Maynard again. He's going to get a couple of yards before he's dropped.
Yeah, he's going to get down to about the 34-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2.
And tonight York has not been able to get any minus yardage tackles, Gary. They've not been getting anybody in the backfield.
No, when they threw the ball, they had got good. You know, the pass defense had been really good, but having a hard time against this running attack of Grace Christian.
So Riggs comes up, and that's one thing that passing will do for you. If you got a good passing game, it'll open up the run game. Now quick out to Curcio, and he's going to get up to about the 37, 38-yard line. He's going to be a little bit, or 28, I should say. He's going to be a little bit short.
They're marking it about the 28, and they're calling it 3rd down. It looks awful close. About a 3rd and a yard and a half, actually.
Yeah, that's what they're showing on the far side over there. As now up will come the quarterback, Riggs. Riggs got 2 men beside him. He's going to hand it off to Curcio. Curcio breaks, spins away from one, and he's going to be upended at about the 18-yard line, so a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, and Curcio's down. He got tackled pretty hard by Wyatt Hawks there, and he's not getting up, Gary. He's getting up real slowly, and he's back down, so they're going to have 10 to him.
And got a halftime score for you. Not a good night for the Bobcats, Gary. Pekin County at half of their homecoming trailing 59-12 to Eagleville. So it looks like a tough night for Coach Ray Reagan's Bobcats. Right now we got a player down. Curcio is down, and we'll take a break while they check on him, and we'll be back after this.
At Hall Family Pharmacy, we are breaking the chain of large chain pharmacies. With our new local low-cost prescription program, this hometown pharmacy is meeting and beating chain pharmacy prices. We are excited to offer a full list of generic prescriptions starting as low as $3. To see if your prescription is offered at these new low costs, check the list on our website, hallfamilypharmacy.com, or give us a call today at either Hall Family Pharmacy location. Hall Family Pharmacy, breaking the chain of national chain pharmacies.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No.
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
Well, Curcio runs off the field, Gary. He seems to be okay. That would look like a cramp there as he was being stretched out. But now it's going to be, I think, first down for the Rams at about the 16-yard line, and number 26 comes into the game. 26, or is that 26 or 28, I guess. That is Coffee in the game. Devin Coffee will come in. They'll hand it off to him. Coffee will go out to the right side and gets a few yards before he's brought down. And Gary, York has been missing a lot of tackles. The tackles they could have got some short yardage out of, they've just been whiffing on them.
Yeah, they have. That one goes for about 5, Gary. So, but probably could have went for a couple if you make the tackle. Instead, it'll be actually 2nd and 6 from about the 13-yard line. So, York trying to bow up, keep them out of the end zone.
3:30 left to go here in the ballgame. Now a high snap ran down by Riggs. Riggs looking for somebody now, just running around. Riggs, he's just still just running around, and now he tries to cut back in, and he is dropped all the way back to the 26-yard line. We got a flag on the play.
And surely that's holding. They didn't, he was trying to get away, and Johan West grabbed him by the legs and was holding him up, and Castellon come in and put the hit on him, hit him hard, but surely they wouldn't call that.
I don't know. Going to be a block in the back by the Rams. And, Gary, that's one of those that when you try to overdo, that's one of those overdue plays there where it looked like he was really trying to overdo something. He should have just chucked it out of bounds.
Yeah, that one's the one you throw 10 yards out of bounds and, line up and play again. When you start running around by like that back there and your guys trying to block for you, they're going to set up blocks in the back and holding situations.
That's one of those situations you look for your openest cheerleader and throw it toward her. As she could be wide open on the sideline and dish it out there and get it out, just throw it away because you lost a ton of yardage, and now they're going to hand it off up the middle, and that is number 26 or 28, Devin Coffey on the carry. The junior bangs out a few yards, but that's going to make it still long yardage for the Rams.
Yeah, it is. That'll move it down to about the 23-yard line. They've got to get to the 7, so it'll be 4th and 16, and they're lined up. They're going to go for it here. York will just have to stop them, Gary, but good tackle there by Strong and Tompkins to keep that to a minimal gain.
I'm kind of surprised they're not trying a field goal. They had a kicker. They got a kicker that can drill the football. It would be, of course, so it would be about a 40-yarder if they kicked the field goal. But now they're just letting the clock run down, I believe, before they call timeout. We got 2:21 left to go here in the ball game. And now the hand goes up, and they'll they'll get the snap off. They'll give it off to number 10. He's going to cut back inside, and he's going to be brought down at about the 15-yard line. York will take over on downs, and Gary, I guess at this point, Grace Christian figures, why don't I just get out of here with this game in hand?
Yeah, they move that ball down to about the 14-yard line and well short of the first down, and it'll be York taking over on downs.
So 1st and 10 now for the Dragons as we go down to 2:05 left to go in this one. You're going to fall to 2-2 on the season, while the Rams are going to go to 2-1 on the season. York's got a big region game next week with Smith County. Now, Gary, that loss to Oneida, York bounced back. Can they do that next week against Smith County if they've still got all these injuries?
Well, yeah, they bounce back nicely, and I'm sure they'll get ready to play next week. It's a big rivalry game for them.
York will hand it off up the middle. I believe that's Cooper on the carry. Got a couple of yards.
Yeah, about 2 on that one for Ben. Not much running on that one.
Gary, this situation might be a time to maybe let Jonah throw the ball a little bit, try to get some passing game going.
Yeah, but also back to your previous point, looks like York just going to run the clock here, try to get out of here at this point.
And get out here without any more injuries, because we see Miller on the sideline. You got Barger on the sideline. And now up will come Durham. Durham's got a man in motion, going to hand it off up the middle again to Cooper, and that'll go for a couple more yards.
That's Strong, or actually
That's
Gibson. Gibson on the carry, so moves it out to about the 26-yard line, Gary, or actually that's about the 21-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, about 3.
And probably about 2 more plays, Gary, at the very most. We're down under a minute, maybe not even more than 1 more play in this game, as we're down under 50 seconds before this one's even snapped. As Durham brings his squad up, got a man in motion. Looks, he's going to throw one out there to Tolman, and that one's to Castellon. That one's almost picked off. as there were 4 Rams right there, Gary. None of them could come up with it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a well-thrown pass, but it was well covered too, Gary. So not much of a chance to complete that one. Castellon fought for it, just couldn't come up with it.
And with 38 seconds to go, this will probably be the last play of the game, as it's going to be 4th down for the Dragons, and
they're going to punt, actually.
Okay, Castellon's going to punt it away, or they're showing punt. We seen a fake punt earlier that didn't work.
I don't think you're faking this one. This is going to be kicked away. They don't have a deep man, but they probably should.
And now Castellon going to boot this one away, and it's going to hit at the 40 and roll all the way down to the 26-yard line. So we've got 24.9 seconds left to go in this, and if you're Grace Christian, I'm going to get in that probably their victory formation, Gary, and just kneel this one out.
Yeah, York's got 3 timeouts. You don't think they would take them. You just want to try to – they're probably going to line up and run the ball, try to run a safe play here, try to get out of here themselves at this point, Gary. So
nobody else injured is the main thing here, as
actually they've got a deep, so they're taking the knee.
So they take the snap back, and going down taking the knee will be number 16, I believe that is Riggs. Taking it, and the clock's going to tick away 13 seconds, and everybody's making their way out on the field. So the York Dragons come up short here at home. Their season opener, their home season opener, that is, going to fall to Grace Christian Academy. Your final here tonight, 28-7. We'll be back in a few minutes for the Progressive post-game show. Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward. And Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way.
Summer is here. Nighttime is brought to life with the sound of crickets, lightning bugs, and the smell of fresh-cut grass. However, without an efficient air conditioning system, you're also brought to life with sleepless nighttime sweats. Don't suffer this season. Sleep easy with the top-of-the-line Carrier air conditioning unit. Financing is available with approved applications, so call today to schedule your free quote. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling today.
Condition Heating and Cooling.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435, a proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
The Gary Maxwell Insurance Office offering area insurance is located at 300 West Central Avenue in Jamestown. Get a free quote for your home, auto, life, or business with no obligation to buy. Call 879-1251. Shane Beatty, Katie Cooper, Tammy Robbins, and Brad Rains agents, along with Jeff Robbins, manager, will be happy to assist you. That's Gary Maxwell Insurance, located 300 West Central Avenue with locations in Livingston, Cookeville, and Gainesboro.
It's time now for York football trivia, brought to you by State Representative John Mark Wendell.
Name 2 All-State players from the 1964 team. And the answer is Tommy Burnett, Larry Knatzer, Earl Edwards, Tom McDonald, and Joe Powell.
York football trivia brought to you by State Representative John Mark Wendell.
Twin Lakes is building a fiber broadband network that gives you the connection you need to experience the gig difference. You deserve to stream without buffering, stay connected, or run a business with speed and reliability. With Twin Lakes fiber broadband, you'll have access to speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber, you'll also have reliable voice solutions, robust TV services, and security and smart control systems for your home or business. Work fast, play hard with fiber from Twin Lakes. Learn more by visiting us online at www.twinlakes.net. Some restrictions apply. Speeds not available in all areas.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
If you're from the South, people make assumptions, like that you wake up at dawn to blast country music in your pickup truck. En route to McDonald's for delicious buttermilk crispy chicken. Well, that last one's true. Embrace the Southern stereotype and wake up with new buttermilk crispy chicken McGriddles. Warm griddle cakes with the sweet taste of maple and all white meat chicken for only $3. Or get a buttermilk crispy chicken biscuit for $3. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
And back here at York Institute, where the Dragons, Gary, come up short, is just Grace Christian able to make the big plays tonight.
It was, Gary. You know, they got a couple of timely turnovers, turned them into points, and, you know, scored on that first drive on a short field, and, you know, just took advantage. And York couldn't take advantage of the Grace miscues tonight.
Welcome now to the Progressive Postgame Show, brought to you by Progressive Savings Bank. We'll take a look at this game. We'll talk to Coach Derwin Wright. All that's coming up right here on the Progressive Postgame Show. Don't go anywhere.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your #1 fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here on the Progressive Postgame Show, and Gary, statistically, York, they come up on the short end of the scoreboard, but not as bad a night as it may have seemed.
No, not really. I mean, you look at it, you know, Grace only had 13 first downs and got 6 of those rushing, believe it or not. 6 via the pass, 1 by penalty. York with 9 first downs, all of them rushing except for 1, which came way of penalty. The big thing, York 49 carries, 171 yards, Gary. That's only 3.5 yards a carry. That's not how York typically wins a game. You know, you look at it on the other side, Grace ended up with 23 rushing attempts, 125 yards. That was 5.4 a pop. They were 13 of 28 through the air for 134 yards, 3 interceptions. York only 1 of 9 for 4 yards. So, you know, They won the passing attack, which we thought they would, but, you know, I thought York done a good job defensively on the passing game, especially in the final 3 quarters.
York got away with 3 turnovers by the 3 interceptions by the Rams, plus a fumble recovery.
Yeah, they turned it over 4 times on the of course, York turned it over a couple of times themselves, so, you know, it you know, the ball was on the ground quite a bit tonight. Actually, I'm trying to look here. York fumbled the ball 4 times, only lost 1 of them, had an interception, so they had 2 turnovers. But the ball's on the ground 4 times plus the interception tonight.
Let me give you a quick recap on the scoring real quick so Bob can have it for the news tonight. It was Grace Christian getting on the scoreboard with 9:04 left to go in the first quarter. It was a Grant Warwick 19-yard pass from Cooper Riggs, Chase McCullough the extra point. It was 7-0. Then Grace took a 14-0 lead on a 3-yard run by Caleb Curcio, and Chase McCullough, the kick was good. it was 14-0. Then in the second quarter, York got their only score on a Zach Gibson 2-yard run. Johan West the kick, and it was 14-7. And then it was with 8:44 to go in the third, Caleb Curcio, a 6-yard run, Chase McCullough the kick. They led 21-7. And then it was John Michael with a 20-yard fumble recovery, and the kick was good by McCullough, and it was 28-7, which was our final score. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout. Coach Derwin Wright making his way up here. We'll talk to him right after this from Progressive Savings.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the Parent Teachers Group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
And back here, join me now, Coach Derwin Wright. And, Coach, just got some bad news right before we come back on the air.
Yeah, I did. It's terrible for that young man. He had a fantastic defensive game for us, an offensive game, too. He would have connected on a long touchdown pass that opened the drive, but we dropped it, didn't execute. But, we just found out we lost Dalton Barger probably for the year, broken collarbone, and maybe even a knee injury. But, it's just frustrating. I apologize for the team we put on the field. They're kicking the ball to the 5-yard line, which is going to go in the end zone. We're going to get it on 25 and repeatedly telling our guys to let go in the end zone. And, we're not making football smart decisions, and it's costing us. We had 4 turnovers tonight, and you're not going to win a game turning the ball over 4 times. We got some guys that are really busting it. I feel like we got some guys that are really giving effort, and then we got some breakdowns, just like the punt. We had 2 guys really busting down the field, and we had about 8 jogging down the field. And you're not going to be successful not giving that kind of effort, and we got to fix it. Pretty good football team, but I don't think they're the caliber of Oneida. They're different. They're a different philosophy of what they do, but good at what they do. Don't get me wrong, but we did a whole lot to help them tonight.
Coach, they came out throwing the ball just like you said they would. Yep. They threw the ball very well, but they did mix in some runs, and it seemed like whenever they did mix in the run, your guys was geared up for the pass, and they were just a couple times they just looked surprised and didn't make the tackle.
Well, the thing about it is when you've got to distinguish between a run and a pass, and it's a difference in the block. And our defensive ends are making the mistakes, and they're new to this position. Both of them are new. Both of them, one's a freshman, one's a sophomore, and they're not reading. They're rushing upfield when the guy's blocking down, which is just opening a gap, and they've got to close that. And we worked it. But as you said, they passed so many times. They got so focused on trying to get a pass rush that then they lose focus and don't execute their assignment, which was allowing the guard and tackle both to go up to our linebacker, and he had no shot at it. So, when we played it right, we did a good job on it, but we weren't consistent. It's fundamentals and mental toughness, and we've got to get both. We're banged up. Aaron Talent's playing hurt. Edward Stockton tried to play most of the game, had a bad ankle. Johan West is playing hurt. Those are 3 seniors playing hurt. Now we've lost our starting quarterback for the year, so some other kids are going to have to step up. But tonight I was disappointed with the second offensive line because we had to bounce some guys around. You guys were up here. You saw a lot of different offensive linemen coming in, and the guys coming in, they just wouldn't execute, and they didn't know their assignments, and we got to fix that.
Coach, this loss, it hurts as far as your overall, but it, of course, is not a region game. But one thing it will get you ready for, you're going to see another team down the road like this, especially in Livingston Academy, that just pretty much they have the same air attack that this bunch here has.
Yeah, and we're thin in the secondary, and losing Dalton makes us more thin. But we've got a freshman. We got to still get some work in and get him ready. But that's the kind of air attack we're going to see. That's a lot what Livingston does. They do that well. They probably throw in a little bit more run, and you know, it's like I told our guys, we can learn a lot from this game. But the other thing is we've got to get some guys coached up and more bodies ready to play because, you know, unfortunately the injury bug seems to be hitting us, and that's a bad thing at any level of football.
And, Coach, of course, tonight your run offense, you had a couple of big breakaways, but for the most part they were bringing everybody into the box and just sitting there waiting on you.
Well, not that as much as they were pinching their tackles, and we weren't making the block. The number 52 from the backside just kept making a play, and you know, the center and the tackles both assigned for that guy on the backside, and you know, we wouldn't getting it done. It wasn't what we were doing; it was how we were doing it. You know, and that's frustrating, and that goes. You know, when I see that and I watch that on film, that means we're missing something in practice. We're not getting it fixed, and we got to get it fixed. You know, it's not all the guys; it's coaches. You know, we got to fix things, and you know, if they're doing it on the field, then they've got to be doing a lot of that on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on the practice field. So we got to basically go back and sharpen some things up. Everything we run against our motion tonight, whether we ran a Liz motion, which is a flat motion left, and run a 2 dive back away from it. Everything away from our motion was hitting, and we were getting good yards off of it, but we just weren't consistently executing those plays. We had 2 fumbles in those backside plays that should have never took place. You know, turning the ball over 4 times and have even a chance to be in the ball game. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, we should have got blown out, to be honest with you, but our kids were fighting, and I'm proud of them for that. But we got to clean some things up. If we're going to have a good football team, it's like I told them, way too many missed tackles, way too many just bad techniques as far as tackling, and then we got to get full effort on the field. I mean, we got to get guys that are flying around, and you know, I don't think we did that enough tonight.
Coach, we mentioned Barger going down. He got hurt. You got your starting quarterback. The one thing about it was, though, most of your preseason was with Jonah Durham and Isaiah Strong.
Yeah.
So they're not going to come in here completely unready for the start.
No, Jonah's got some strengths that Barger don't have in things that he does, but Barger's got some strengths that Jonah don't have. Together, a good 1-2 punch, to be honest with you. But you know, we're going to really miss Dalton as much as anything on that defensive side. I mean, you know, the kid's already 3 or 4 interceptions on the year, and you know, he did a great job tonight. He picked 2 or 3, I don't remember how many. One there in the end zone that he come from center field, made a fantastic play. He's got great speed. Very smart kid, so it's going to hurt us in center field as much as anywhere.
Coach, you got the Smith County Owls coming in next week. That's another big region contest.
Yeah, we know they lost a tough one to Upperman. I'm not sure exactly who they were playing tonight. We'll get some film on them. We'll start working on them, but you know, right now we got to get some movement around, and it's bad to be going into Game 5 and having to change and move personnel, but due to what's going on with some of these injuries, we've got to move some people, and hopefully we can get them coached up and ready to go.
And now Smith County always comes after York. That's one of their big games of the year is when you guys meet. They'll be coming here ready to play.
Oh, it's Smith County. This thing goes back to way before I was playing, but I can go back to when I was playing in, you know, 86. We went down there and upset them, and then the next year it was a miracle pass, Jeff Williams caught, and from Chris Huff, and that's went on. I remember my first year back as head coach with Chad Lefevue and that group. We ended the season 4-6 with Smith County being the number 1 team. We played them the last game, and we put a good beating on them up here. But it's also went the other way several times. But one of the biggest games I think was a playoff game, 2009, Dickie Brown's first year up here. There was another miracle catch in that game, and then Coach Brown went for 2 and ran a thing that he called foobar, and I don't think he'd ever thrown out of it. Brian Reynolds threw it out of it, and they got 2. And, you know, Smith County was making their travel plans for the next round of playoffs. And, but they've also spoiled ours several times. So it is a big rival, and it's one of those games you throw the records out because both teams get after each other.
And, of course, as we said, it's for the region standings as well. Like we said, 2 get you in, but 2 don't get you a home game, so you need to pick up all those region matchups you can.
Absolutely. You got to. It's just important. And right now, we just got to get crisper. We got to get better. We got to execute better. And going in the season, we knew we had some young guys, but we got, Aaron Talent's doing one heck of a job on the offensive line for us. He's we're running behind him a lot. And Zach Strong, but we got to get some other guys on that offensive line to step up and get down there and play the way they're playing, and and we just got to get consistent on it. And it's I just what aggravates me about this, we did so many things to help this team tonight that we should have done better, and the turnovers, the missed tackles. The lack of execution, the drop passes, the things that we didn't do. If we do, we're going to have one heck of a ball game. It's going to come down to the wire tonight. But, you don't cover on a punt. You let them run one and get great field position. We didn't. I can't think right now that we actually got points out of any of the turnovers we got. And you got to get points off turnovers. Team turns the ball over, you got to get points off of it. So, we just did a lot of things not to help ourselves, Gary.
Yeah, the turnovers, and then, of course, you don't know how the game would have turned out, but if Miller had caught that one, he was wide open down the sideline. It would have been a much tighter game. And
see, that's, again, that mental toughness I'm talking about. When he dropped that one, it's just like the air came out of the whole team. And, that those are going to happen. That's where you got to say, hey, we're going to get it the next time. And just keep fighting, but we tend to drop our heads a little bit, and I think we come into the game wondering whether we could play with this team or not. And then when we seen we could, we come out in the third quarter. They're kicking off to us. Well, we went in at halftime. They were running three technique tackles. We talked about it. We're going to run on first sound, and we get up there and our center don't snap the ball. And we're offsides. We're not doing the mental things to help ourselves, and that's what's frustrating. And that goes back. A lot of that falls on my shoulders. We got to get it. We got to get it right. And we don't get it right, we're going to be awful good shape because we're going to do a lot of extra running. But we're going to get it right.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us. A tough loss here tonight, but best of luck this next week as Smith County comes to town.
Thank you, Gary.
And we'll talk with Coach Derwin Wright on Monday on the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. We're going to take a break, and we'll get Gary back in here, and we will wrap her up here from tonight. But first, here's another word from Progressive Savings Bank.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your #1 fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back here on the Progressive Postgame Show. Gary, what can you say about this one? It's just one of those games York's got to chalk down to experience, and now they've got to get some folks healthy, and they've got to get some new folks worked in because it looks like they're going to be without their starting quarterback the rest of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately, tough injury for Dalton there, and we saw him come off the field, and it looked like he was holding he wasn't moving his arm, but he had against his leg too, and that kind of explained all that. But you got to get Jonah Durham ready to play. You got to have Isaac Strong ready to go behind him, and you got to get those guys ready. And you heard Coach Wright talk. They've had to shuffle the offensive line a little bit, and it showed at times. And you could just feel the disappointment in his voice, and he's right. They actually gave York 5 turnovers tonight, and York couldn't do nothing with any of them. And you get 5 turnovers, you'd like to think you'd cash 1 or 2 of those in, and you have plays and you have big gains, and you didn't capitalize on them. It's about execution, and after the Oneida game, we talked about blocking and the lack of execution on the offensive line. Well, the blocking has shored up some. I mean, when they're throwing 9 people into the box and they're running every one of them through a gap, it's hard to run against that. But, the blocking's there, and we saw it at times tonight. We saw the backs get through. But, you don't throw the ball a lot if you're York, and when you do call a pass, it has to be executed. You practiced it all week. You've got to line up, and you got to execute the play, and York's not been able to do that.
They're at this point right now, Gary, they're just too one-dimensional. They're run and run only pretty much. They throw a little bit, but they had that attack. It looked good against Grundy County a couple plays, but tonight it just wasn't there at all. So, that's something they've got to do, and they've got to do it with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, they do, but, their backup quarterback's got a good arm. He's effective throwing the football. We saw that last week down in Grundy County, but, it's other things that truly got to be shored up. The pass catching's got to be shored up. We saw a lot. The one thing I would complain about the backs tonight is we saw at times that they were trying to get that outside, and when they bounced it out, Grace was a quick team, and they strung it out to the sideline every single time. York didn't get the corner all night long, and their big runs came between the tackles and between the guards in particular, right up the middle.
So York comes up short in this one, but it's time now for our Halls Family Pharmacy Player of the Game. We'll be back with that right after this.
Hello, this is Philip Hall with Hall Family Pharmacy and Hall Sports and Outdoors. We are proud to sponsor this broadcast Player of the Game. Be a part of the winning team. Halls is proud to be this area's #1 pharmacy, and now you may visit our expansion in downtown Jamestown for all things sports and outdoors and a complete line of sports medicine equipment.
And back here, Gary, time now for our Halls Family Pharmacy Player of the Games, our Halls Family Pharmacy Hall Sports and Outdoors Player of the Game, I should say.
Yeah, tonight, going to have to give it to, it's going to miss the rest of the year, but this is going to go to Dalton Barger, and it's not so much what he done offensively. He carried the ball 3 times for minus 14 yards, 0 of 4 through the air with an interception. It's about what he done defensively. He shared the team lead in tackles with 5. And more importantly, he had 1 fumble recovery and 2 big interceptions tonight. So Dalton Barger will be our player of the game.
Congratulations to Dalton. We hope he gets well soon, as Dalton injured tonight and looks like his season may be done for. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. A big thank you to our sponsors for tonight. Fentress County Executive Jimmy Johnson, State Representative John Mark Wendell, Halls Family Pharmacy and Sports and Outdoors, First Volunteer Bank, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Fentress Farmers Co-op, McDonald's of Jamestown, Metathrift Pharmacy, Conditioned Heating and Cooling, Twin Lakes, Pizza Hut, Southeast Drywall and Construction, our newest member of our broadcast team. We welcome them aboard. Also, our pre- and post-game shows brought to you by Progressive Savings Bank. Our halftime stats by Old Ben Franklin Ford in Wartburg. Our player of the game, Halls Sports and Outdoors and Family Pharmacy. Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show each Monday brought to you by the Union Bank in Jamestown and Clark Range. Well, Gary, that's going to wrap it up for us here tonight. We just now got to get ready. It's a big region game next week.
Yeah, Smith County will come in, and it will be a big region game. You hope you get, you get a couple of guys back here, namely, hopefully you'll get Edward Stockton back. You get Thomas Miller back, although, York found a little bit of a running game through Zach Gibson in particular. And, once he got loose a little bit, it freed up in the middle a little bit, and Ben Cooper able to get 2 or 3 big runs there. So, they found a couple of guys that can carry the ball here to go along with Thomas. Got to get them well, though, and hopefully get some players back healthy before the Owls come in here next Friday night.
So it's going to be York and Smith County next Friday night in a huge Region 3 3A matchup, as that one is going to kick off at 7 o'clock. Don't forget the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show on Monday coming up at 5:30. Be sure to catch that on WDB and CLTV. Until next week, for 15104 Sports, for Gary Hall, I'm Gary Clark. We'll see you at the game.